Welcome to the very special Valentine's Day edition of the Red Pill Phone Tap episode number 15. I am here with my very best friend on planet Earth, Anthony. I am Wesley, helping you all celebrate a Red Pill Valentine's Day. Anthony, is there such a thing as a Red Pill Valentine's Day?
No, it's called AKA Simp Day. Scam Day. However you want to define today is up to you. But in my own definition, I see Valentine's Day as a day full of being sucked in by retail taxes on men.
It's not untrue. Usually, now, I have so much post-traumatic stress from Valentine's Day.
So do I.
And I have mainly from my marriage, my past marriage. She was the one that was really the worst on me. And we'll get into some specific stories because that's what we do on this podcast.
Well, call us Siamese twins because that's exactly the last time I ever did anything towards Valentine's Day was in that past marriage.
Now, I want to help our guys out here. There is life beyond this.
For sure.
Now,
Definitely.
I'll share with you my Valentine's Day today.
Wait, you had a Valentine's today?
Yeah, I have a wife. And
okay.
Even though I hate this holiday, I absolutely fucking loathe it because of my past. I don't want my wife, who actually is a good chick, I don't want her to
suffer for your past.
Suffer for my past. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't want her to suffer from my past. So and this is only our
15th?
Second Valentine's Day.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the episode. I'm sorry.
No, it's only our second Valentine's Day, and I got to tell you, it's very therapeutic. Today, this is how it went. I wanted to see, because of my past, I wanted to go like crazy over and beyond. I wanted to get lobster. I wanted to get a great side. I wanted to get her crab cakes because she's from Maryland. And I couldn't bring it together because I was trying to put it together. Usually I'm not trying to put things together on the day of, and this year I was. And so I just got her, a nice box of different chocolate-covered strawberries, white chocolate, velvet chocolate covered strawberries in a nice little box. And I got her flowers. I mean, flowers is nothing new. That's something I do as a spouse anyways, to be thoughtful. So when I go to stand in line to do this, that's where the post-traumatic stress, Anthony, seeps in. Because there's all these, and I'm not kidding. I was on the phone with you, remember?
Yeah.
And I told you, I was like, dude, I almost want to video this because it was 15 guys deep sitting there with flowers. And again, as I said a second ago, I like getting my wife flowers. Because she enjoys getting flowers.
Let me ask
it's something
you,
beautiful.
Were they
for
more expensive today?
Where I was, not much. So I was in and I would say I would usually get these flowers $6 less. It wasn't bad. It wasn't. The flowers wasn't the thing. I overpaid.
6 times 15 is a lot, though.
I'm saying for the whole shebang.
No, I'm saying you had 15 guys there.
Oh, yeah.
6 times 15?
100%.
That's a lot on your profits.
Well, and then you got to understand, because I've been around the block. I'm 42 years old now. I'm seeing my younger self stand in line.
Yeah.
And again, I was just telling you, I like getting my wife flowers because it's a beautiful thing to have in our house as decor. It makes the house smell nice. She's surprised, so she likes it. It's me being spontaneous with my spouse, and it's something that's enjoyable for her. What I don't like, Anthony, is what I saw tonight, like 15 guys deep in line holding flowers, and it's like a gun's being held to their head. I don't mind getting my wife flowers. I don't want someone to hold a gun to my head and tell me to get my wife flowers. You see what I'm saying?
It is a social pressure to adhere to the day that exists today that is known as Valentine's Day. What is it? Romance Day, Lovers Day,
Yeah,
Couples Day,
oh,
whatever.
No. It's not just Lovers Day.
What?
Because they got the kids involved now too for some fucking weird reason. Explain that one to me. Explain to me why kindergartners do shit for Valentine's Day.
When a kid can give me the definition of what love is, then you can celebrate it.
Oh, well, I'm terrified. Are the schools going to try to push for the kids to get involved in steak and blowjob day too? I'm serious. There's no reason kids should be involved in Valentine's Day.
When is that?
None
March?
At all.
Is that March though? That's March, right?
March 15th is steak and blowjob day.
I'm down with that. I don't give a fuck about Valentine's Day. I'm down with steak and blowjob day. I'm very am. But that's just me.
Yeah, and it's just like kids don't have to be involved. I want in everything, man.
I want to share something with you, Wesley. I did some research.
Dude, don't tell me a school is celebrating steak and blowjob day. Are you about to? Oh, thank fucking God.
No.
I was about to give up on the world.
That's a social media thing, man.
Ugh.
It's a social media thing. It's not a real thing, and women don't really get down with that on a broad scale.
It's gaining some traction, though.
On a broad scale.
It is gaining some traction, though, Anthony.
When you say traction, do you mean more than 50%?
No.
Okay.
No.
No. Stop lying to me.
But no. Well, I'm just saying it's gaining traction because, to your point of online pressures, steak and blowjob day, which is the next month and the next day, which is, February 14th is Valentine's Day. That's why steak and blowjob day is March 15th. There is added pressure. And let's get into this, Anthony, when it comes to Valentine's Day. You've got a line of 15 men deep with a gun held to their head to buy flowers for their chick. Let me tell you.
Figuratively, a gun to their head, yeah.
Well, there were 3 men that had a literal gun held to their head, but I digress. But I will tell you, let me tell you what Valentine's Day is worse for. And Anthony, we have always said on this show, we are the real feminists because we really hold women to an equal standard, which is what they want, right?
No.
That's what they claim they want.
Right.
But let me tell you why Valentine's Day is far worse for women. This is the one day a year where women just get to take the gloves off with each other and just go, see, bitch, I'm better than you. There'll be a bitch at work because they love getting gifts at work. Yes. That's their fucking jam, isn't it?
Oh, did you know?
That's their jam.
15% of women globally send themselves flowers.
At work?
At work.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because that's their shit.
15%, Wesley.
I'll be honest, I would have guessed that was higher. Just because that's major clout amongst bitches, man.
But it's too many orbiters around for it to get
but
higher.
But orbiters, we have to always kind of establish. Thank God, Alpha Male Strategies did a great video this week about male orbiters, and stick with me because I'm going somewhere with this.
Okay.
He talks about how men, and I already knew this, but he just really, preached this just so specifically and so well. He was saying, yeah, male orbiters are out there, but if you're a high value male or if you're an alpha male, you don't have to worry about these guys too much because what women want from these male orbiters is they want validation.
That's it.
They really don't want to sleep with them that bad. Yeah, they only women that are kind of mentally broken that really need sex as validation. Typically male orbiters, women can keep them at an arm's length and keep them in friend zone pretty easily.
But it don't keep male orbiters from engaging with gifts and.
Well, male orbiters are typically really beta. That's what I'm trying to point out.
Yeah,
that's why I said I'm going somewhere with this. A male orbiter to send flowers on Valentine's Day, that's very brave. He would really have to put himself out there.
You think they don't?
I think it happens. I don't think as a rule it happens. I think they will send over some texts, some messages, some likes. By the way, fellas, I want you to be aware when you take your girl out on Valentine's Day and she makes sure when she's fixed up to go out, she doesn't take a photo with you. That's for her male orbiters, just so we're 100%. 100%. That's who that's for. That's your girl saying, Happy Valentine's Day to my male orbiters. Hang on for 50 or 60 more years. Maybe we can go on a date. That is exactly what that's for, fellas, and I'm just telling you.
Guys.
Yeah, good luck with that. Hey, Anthony, I don't mean to interrupt the segment here, and we always talk about we like to jump right in the action. We don't like long intros.
Yeah.
However, we have a new country that's listening to the Red Pill Phone Tap.
Yeah, I see you on the global map. I'm like, wait. We got something I ain't never heard from before?
We do have a new country.
Well, don't keep us waiting, goddammit. Who is it?
Well, I'm sorry, the crowd was just very involved. I didn't want to shut them down. Of course, we have our friends in the U.S. We have the United Kingdom, who we actually have quite a few people in the United Kingdom listening. Thank you, guys.
Welcome.
Cheers. That is my mother country. I'm no bullshit. My relatives came over from England before the Revolutionary War.
Okay.
They were escaping tax trouble from England. I learned this from Ancestry.com. Our friends from Canada, of course, Australia is still sticking in there. Hungary, who has stayed with us now for 3 weeks in a row. Bahrain is how you pronounce it, Anthony?
Yes.
Bahrain. Our friends in Germany, Spain, Nepal, and of course, we don't know what country is other. We'll have to do more investigating. However, we have some new friends from the grand country of Norway.
Hey.
Welcome, Norway.
So, Norway. Remind me where that is again.
Norway. That's
north somewhere, right?
Yeah, that's up there in Europe on the northern side of Europe. Do you see where my mouse is right here?
Northwestern.
It's
that's like where Germany is, right? Where you're going?
Let's see here. Well, I mean, certainly it's near Germany because it's in the western part of Europe. Well, it's in the mid part of Europe. It definitely ventures into the eastern side of Europe. And for our Norwegian friends,
sorry, guys,
I apologize. We're going to learn more about your country. I promise. You've done. Yeah, and by the way, you're right. It is right near Germany.
Okay.
The western side of Norway, the southwest part of Norway is right near Germany.
Glad to have you guys.
Yeah, we're very glad to have you guys. Learning, you guys are multilingual over there, whereas us dumb Americans only know English. But we appreciate you guys coming over to the Red Pill Phone Tap.
We know Spanish because we trying to eat their food.
I mean, Jesus, Anthony. I mean, you're quite the foodie. Yeah. All the food in Europe is damn good, isn't it?
Oh yeah, man. Like it's multicultural, so you're definitely gonna get a
lot of fusions, right? A lot of fusions.
Exactly. So someone
people make fun of German food, but I love like the great sausage from there and the sauerkraut that they enjoy. I love it, actually.
I mean,
I love eating sauerkraut and sausage on football Sundays. It's great to me.
Germany is very underrated. They're just not brought up a lot with cuisines, right? So,
but I would argue Germany cuisine is fused into a lot of different cuisines.
Yeah, they. I ain't gonna get too far into it, but they definitely have they're surrounded by different cultures, so they're influenced by a lot of different cultures. So the food can change depending on the region you're in.
You know, speaking of region, and you know, we're gonna get back to Valentine's Day just here in a quick sec, but what I love, excuse me, what I love about Germany, and I bet our friends in Norway are no different. I mean, as we look at Norway here on a map, most of Norway, if we go straight across, that is same as the northern regions of Canada.
Okay.
You know, as far as hemisphere-wise.
Mm-hmm.
And what I find from people that are in Germany, people that are, you know, in Eastern Europe, you know, Russia, things like that, as a fighter, I really respect them because the climate and the weather is so cold there, a lot of tough people come out of that region, man. You and I saw, not to get too deep into this, but you and I saw what Khabib Nurmagomedov did to Conor McGregor. I mean, Conor McGregor, who just beat Cowboy Cerrone handily in the first round. Khabib Nurmagomedov, if anybody saw that fight, good God, it looks like he stretched the fight out just so he could torture Conor McGregor, who we forget that Conor McGregor is one of the best fighters on the planet, right? Because Khabib Nurmagomedov embarrassed him so bad. But then he comes out in this last fight, he fights Cowboy Cerrone, knocks him out in the first round. You're like, oh yeah, Khabib Nurmagomedov made us think Conor McGregor ain't shit, but Conor McGregor is really fucking badass. Yeah. You know, those people from that part of the world, Anthony, man, they're a different kind of tough. There's no bullshit. And I'll bring it up for you as we're speaking, because I know you've traveled to this part of the world, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to bring it up for you as we're speaking. There is a video of Khabib Nurmagomedov as a child wrestling a bear. Have you?
Oh, yeah.
You've seen it? You've seen it?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
I mean, it was a baby bear.
That's what little kids are doing in this part of the world.
It was a kid fighting a baby bear, but it was a
still
kid
giant
fighting a fucking baby bear.
Yeah, ain't nobody in the States doing some shit like that.
Not at all. Not at all.
Damn.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. When you showed me that before, I was like, what?
The fuck is going on?
You just let your kid fucking fight a bear. Like
Sidebar, and I'm sorry, guys. This is our special Valentine's Day edition. I saw on LinkedIn today, I'm not making this up, Anthony, just since we're talking about current events. I saw a guy woke up and there was a box on his doorstep. Have you already seen this?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so it was even on the news. A guy woke up and there's a box and he thought it was a box of puppies. And he heard like some whining, you know, he heard some whining and he gets out there. It's a box of bear cubs and they're tiny. They're like little, like newborn puppy sized.
Okay.
Who the fuck put a box of bears on somebody's doorstep? Could you imagine if the mother bear was nearby?
Yeah, it'd be crazy.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's a setup for your ass.
Yeah. It was like almost like somebody trying to murder somebody. Like,
right,
holy shit. It was on the news. They ended up taking the little baby bears. And these little baby bears, you could fit them in the palm of your hand. I'm not playing.
So
they ended up taking them to a zoo. Here we see Khabib Nurmagomedov fighting a bear. Yeah. Anthony, what the hell's going on in Russia, man? Little kids are fighting bears.
Yeah. I mean, like those bears have teeth. They have claws. It's just not a game.
That bear is clearly stronger than that little kid. I mean, this isn't a little bear like we were talking about that could fit in your hand. This bear is much larger than Khabib Nurmagomedov that's fighting it. Like, Jesus Christ. So let's easily transition over to Western women and Valentine's Day.
That's not an easy transition,
what
but
do you
okay.
mean? I mean, you're talking about Western women aren't tough and...
No.
I mean, Valentine's Day is one of the toughest holidays for them, right, Anthony?
No, I'll give you some statistics about Valentine's Day and some history if you want.
Ladies, watch out.
Statistically, men spend double the amount than women on Valentine's
What are our sources here?
Huh?
What are our sources? Because I know someone's going to talk shit about it.
Man, Google it. I'm not.
Man, Google that shit.
I am bourbon and whiskey in deep. I'm not gonna try to remember this shit. I did it this week, so it's very recent. So, the thing about Valentine's though is, I told you earlier that it is a $14 billion day worldwide. This is
I had no fucking idea. 14 billion fucking dollars?
Yes.
Holy fuck.
You're
talking about if all of a sudden every red pill guy stood up and said, not doing it.
Not today. That they would take a huge hit.
If every red pill guy did it, that would only be 3% of 14 billion.
So it'll be 13 billion maybe. The thing is, man, like the flower industry gets a boost, the candy industry gets a boost, the Hallmark card industry gets a boost, the restaurant industry gets a boost.
I was supposed to talk. I can't even imagine the restaurant industry, by the way. Well, hold on. Let me come back to the restaurant industry. But I was supposed to do some really, really good research for this segment. My wife actually worked for Hallmark, and because she worked for Hallmark, her attitude towards the holiday, and again, I wish I would have spoke to her more about this, but then you were arriving here at the studio, and we kind of got sidetracked. But her opinion on this holiday is kind of eye-rolling, you know. But let's get to the restaurant side of it, because you and I worked in restaurants for a lot of years. Let me tell you about if you work in the restaurant industry, 0% chance you can get off work this day. Yeah. If you work in the restaurant industry, you're not going out on Valentine's Day. No. God forbid if you are in the restaurant industry and you're with someone in the restaurant industry, hell to the fucking no. This is a terrible, terrible day in the restaurant industry, and here's why. I'm going to illuminate for the people that work in the restaurant or have worked in the restaurant industry. When I just said this is a terrible, terrible day for the restaurant industry, everyone that's worked in the industry goes 100%, because thank you. Hey, back there in the back left, next to the refrigerator, behind that stove, especially thank you. Here's the thing, man. When you normally work at a restaurant as a waiter or as a cook or anything, you can get anywhere from what we would call 4 people at a table, we would call a 4-top. 6 people at a table, we would call a 6-top, right? 2 people at a table, we would call a 2-top. And it's great because if you get a large table, this is, the bill could be where I worked a lot of my career was when the heyday of Outback Steakhouse. Jesus Christ, $20 a person, 8 people. Fuck, man. You get that bill up high, and then if it's 6 or more, you get gratuity. And then sometimes they'll be like, man, you did such a badass job. I want to tip you beyond gratuity.
Right.
So on one table, you might get a tip of $30. And that's a lot of money because they're only there. I mean,
hour and a half.
Yeah, hour and a half. Typically, larger tables are there longer because they're kind of conversating more. So hour and a half for sure. Versus a 2-top, they could be in and out in 40 minutes. So yeah, there's a little bit more time on like a larger top table, but you have the ability to get larger checks because there's usually a lot of people at the table. At Outback Steakhouse specifically, they had these booths that would fit 6 people. And people love that. People like sitting at booths. I don't know why. They fucking love it. By the way, I'm not making fun of them. I like sitting at booths too. I like booths too, man. You're just like you're down kind of in your own environment, I guess. That's why people like it. But we had booths where you could sit 6 motherfuckers, 3 on each side. These are large fucking booths. And you're like, hell yeah, man, fucking 6. I'm not doing much more work than if there was 2 people, and I get a much larger
tables.
Bill. Yeah, I get a much larger tip because the bill is much, much larger. If everybody out there, public service announcement, you should be tipping 15% of your tab. I always tip 20% unless you really, really suck, and I'll tip you 15. I usually won't go below 15 because I just remember those days working in the industry.
I won't go below 10, but you really have to fuck up.
10 is like, I could not talk to your manager. I asked for the manager. He never came over, so I only gave you 10.
Yeah.
You know, on $100, I only gave you $10. You know, like, fuck, dog. You know what I mean? So, so we now know the rules of engagement in the restaurant. We're the day-to-days of working in the restaurant. But then here come Valentine's Day. That big 6-person booth, Anthony, that I was telling you about? 2 people. Next table, 2 people. Next table, 2 people. Next table, 2 people. So as a restaurant, it's fucking frustrating because every fucking table is a 2-top, goddammit.
Yeah.
Every table. And let me tell you, they're taking the sweet time of a fucking 6-top.
They in love.
100% of the time.
They in love.
I'm in love.
I gotta express how I feel to you today, and we gotta take time because we had to set reservations because on Valentine's Day you can't just walk
do
in
that.
and shit.
Yeah.
You gotta set reservations. Even at a fucking regular restaurant, it's like, hey, you ain't got a reservation. You can't just walk up in here and expect a table.
And it's just like, no. And if anything goes wrong, because the dude is being held at gunpoint, you know, if anything goes wrong, it's just like, oh, god damn. And it's just, if you're waiting tables, you're making no fucking money. You know, all day long it's 2-tops, whereas you would normally get like an occasional 4-top or an occasional 6-top. People on Valentine's Day, they ain't going out double dating, goddamn. No,
Not at all.
And because people can't sit together, the restaurant is triple as packed, and everybody's got to have their fucking moment.
Not many people at the bar.
No, God, no. Not many people at the bar, and every person's got to have their own little moment. And by the way, I kind of don't blame them because they probably waited for an hour for their table. You know what I mean? And then everyone's got to sit there and just be like, oh, have that little romantic moment, Anthony. Meanwhile, you're just sitting there tapping your finger. Bitch, will y'all fucking leave?
Why did you get Quiet Storm DJ on me and shit?
I don't know, Anthony. I'm just trying to have some dinner.
Is it my turn to wish you were lying?
Come on, Anthony. It's Valentine's Day. We gotta stay here an extra 45 minutes.
Of course we do, right? I gotta play fussy with you long enough to get you in bed later. I gotta whisper in your ear, girl. I gotta tell you how much you mean to me. Because I couldn't tell you before today. Today was just a special day.
Girl, do you want a Caesar salad? Or would you rather have a house salad?
Oh, girl, you better take the house salad.
Yeah, girl. Get honey mustard. It don't matter. This is our day, girl. Take all the time you need. Wait. Your steak ain't cooked right? Send that shit back.
Send that shit back.
Yeah.
It's your day, girl. Anything that you want today is yours. Oh, dessert? You damn right. we're going to have dessert tonight.
Of course we're going to have dessert. Girl, you want that tiramisu or some creme brulee? Yeah. Uh-huh. Nah, hold up on the bill. We're going to have some coffee, too.
Coffee in this bitch?
Yeah. I know people are waiting an hour for a table. Let's make them wait an hour and a half, because this is our special day.
Apple pie and coffee, baby. They got the apple pie shaped as a heart, baby. We gonna.
Will you just leave the restaurant, motherfuckers? That's what you're thinking as a waiter, man. If you've never experienced this, I'm glad you've never experienced this.
It's
Thank
hilarious.
fucking God you've never experienced this.
Why you fuck up that song though? That song was good. I like that
I
song.
love that song too. I'm just saying that's what it seems like they're listening to in their head.
Yeah.
As they forget that they had to wait an hour and 20
Right.
minutes. They forget that shit.
But oh no, they probably don't forget. They were like, "Fuck you! You gonna have to wait just as long as I had to wait."
Jesus Christ, man. God damn.
Today is like the ultimate simp day. You know why I say that? It's because you don't get told no on this day a lot.
You don't get told no. Explain, Anthony.
So the chick that you always wanted to talk to, maybe the chick that you always talk to, and she just always said, "Not today." That was her nice way of saying no, right?
Oh.
That was her nice way of saying, "I don't see you in that way. I'm not really into you like that."
Hold on. I have some good theme music for this story. Keep going.
But today, you won't tell me no, would you, girl? Not on Valentine's Day. Not the day of lovers. You would be totally cruel to tell me no today. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You
Girl, this is the day for lovers.
You totally went Quiet Storm DJ on that shit, bro.
Shout out to PM Dawn, by the way. I'm glad that our show, even though we're in 13 different countries, I'm glad that our show is not big enough to get flagged on YouTube for playing, in my opinion, don't get it twisted, a wonderful, wonderful
Great
PM
song.
Dawn song.
Great song.
It just seems like that's the song that's playing in everyone's mind in the restaurant. But Anthony,
It's my turn.
wish you and I were near. Tell you I love you. I mean,
Let me ask you a question, Wesley. On a day like today.
oh, I thought you were going to say, let me ask you a question. Is the Boomerang soundtrack the greatest soundtrack of all time? I would have
definitely.
answered yes, absolutely.
Definitely.
Sorry, I jump ahead. My bad.
My bad for not even asking that question. That's a great fucking question. But no, today is the day as a simp. Don't sit across from her. Sit next to her.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think about like with me and my wife, me and my wife, we keep things, purposely keep things very sexy. Because
you sit across from each other or what?
No. We sit next to each other. That's why I was agreeing.
Okay.
That's why I was agreeing with you.
Okay.
We purposely, because it's not because I'm the Dalai Lama of dating. It's because we've seen people fail at this shit. Once you get too formal and, well, the kids are here. Well, hold on. No kissing. Mommy and daddy don't kiss. It's like, dude, you have to keep your relationship fresh so that you don't become these old people that you see out
Have
here
you
on the streets.
always sat next to your date?
No.
Okay. That's what I was going to ask you.
It's only, but there have been people that I have sat next to other than my wife.
Yeah, I haven't
It's just a very-
always sat next to the person that I'm on a date with. I
Yeah.
haven't always done that.
Well, and I feel like there's a comfort level when you sit next to somebody.
Right.
Like you literally don't feel like if I don't sit across from someone, I don't feel like they have to see my face and
Yeah.
see all my expressions.
Right.
I just feel like we have a connection
Yes.
that I don't have to do that.
See,
right?
Man, I'm glad you said that.
And I've only had that with a few people in my life, but I'm fortunate that my wife and I have that. That's it's a good thing. You know, I was talking to my wife earlier this week because I was starting to share with you my Valentine's Day experience. My wife is very therapeutic for me for Valentine's Day because, and we've never, by the way, it's not a good idea that we've never had this sit down, like, what is this holiday? But we've never had to have this sit down. You and I enjoyed, and, you know, we always give a shout out to the people powering this podcast. She got me a great bottle of whiskey for Valentine's Day. I mean, just a fucking really, really thoughtful gift because it's something I fucking want. You know what I'm saying? But it's like when someone knows you and they get you something that you want, you know. But it was even better because she got us, this is a bottle of Clyde May's Alabama-style whiskey, which, to me, the best...
Marvelous, by the way.
It is marvelous. It really is good. But I don't think I would have ever bought it for myself. I would have always been curious, but I've been like, I don't know what Alabama-style whiskey is. You and I now have researched, they make bourbon, but then they finish it with putting... dried apples that they put in the oven with the whiskey.
Apples, yeah.
Oven dried apples, yes. But it was great because the bottle's great. It looks like something out of the Old West.
Definitely does.
It's something that's highly rated. You and I loved it because it was almost like it was drinking dessert. Mm-hmm. So it was almost kind of like she got me Valentine's Day candy. You know, but also what I love about this is like all I did was bring her home, as I said earlier, roses and chocolate dipped strawberries. But I love this gift because I don't have to worry about bringing home more than that. And I'll tell you specifically what my ex-wife used to do to me. She would go 2 years in a row without getting me shit. Literally not a fucking gift. Just a hug and a kiss. Happy Valentine's Day. And then 1 year, she would get me a fucking iPhone. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, shit, I wasn't ready for this. All I did was bring home flowers. And now that I know what I know she did it on purpose. So she could kind of be like,
well, I got you an iPhone and you brought me flowers.
I told my wife this earlier because I was telling her this story. She would literally do this really bad acting. It was just so obvious bad acting. She'd be like looking at the phone, looking at the flowers, looking at the phone, looking at the flowers, doing this really obvious acting where she'd go, oh, the flowers are wonderful. That's what I wanted. And she would do this like really terrible acting and then like look at the iPhone and be like, well, this is for you. It's like, bitch, for the last 2 years, you didn't get me shit.
Right.
But it was just, it was this really special form of terroristic torture that I went through. And all of my ex-girlfriends before and after my ex-wife were just as terrible. I mean, they were just as, it was like having a fucking private terrorist that knew you well enough to fucking stab you emotionally with a fucking knife through the heart on February 14th of every year.
Let me ask you, though. Like, why do you feel obligated to match? Because this is what I'm pointing out with my wife as I sit here and look at this bottle.
This is a very nice, I mean, it's in the $55 range a bottle, which to me, $55 range, that's like gift level.
Yes.
Like, I wouldn't spend $55 to try this, but getting it as a gift is cool.
Right.
Because I wouldn't have tried it. The best gifts, as we all know, are shit that you would like to do, but you wouldn't spend that on yourself, right?
Right.
So this is perfect. The strawberry and the dipped chocolate and strawberry, I may have spent maybe $15 more than her. You know, $15 to $17 more than her. But you don't understand. The best gift is knowing, like, we kind of spent in the same dollar range, and I don't have to fucking worry about this next year. You know what I mean? I got a very thoughtful gift. She got some flowers, and, you know, she eats healthy, so it was kind of like getting candy, but it's also strawberries, so it's fruit. It's a lot more healthy. this is just so therapeutic because it's the second year in a row where I don't have to feel like this day out of the year in my current relationship, I don't have to feel like it's fucking stress. Anthony, you can hear in my voice, I have so much fucking post-traumatic stress from this terrible, terrible fucking holiday that I fucking hate. I would not even participate in it, but I think because these dumb hoes online taking all their fucking photos of their gifts from their dude, I don't want my chick to be left out because my chick actually deserves shit. So I don't want her to be left out. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Okay.
So it's not like a gun's being held to my head anymore, but now it's like, yeah, but I want to fucking do right by my chick, and especially since she's doing right by me, she got us a great bottle of whiskey that we've enjoyed, but I still have this post-traumatic stress, Anthony, of the years prior where I can't shake off hating this holiday this fast just because it's gone well for me twice.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying?
It's been multiple years that I haven't celebrated this holiday.
Oh,
so
good man.
So it's very easy for me to ignore this holiday. However,
can you please tell our viewing audience
if
someone tried to reach out to you today, Anthony, and tried to make
let me
this motherfucker got Valentine's Day guerrilla warfared.
Listen.
Someone tried to reach out to Anthony today. I can already tell he's trying to squirm out of it. Someone tried to reach out to him on Valentine's Day, someone that he's dating, and they were like,
hey.
No, yeah, I was about to say, the text message comes, sup.
Just wanted to say hi. bitch, you didn't want to just say hi, bitch.
What was weird is that she sent this over in the text as like a sound with the text.
It's my turn.
Hey, Anthony. Sup. Anthony, tell our viewing audience what she sent over. Come on, man. What did she text?
I'll pull it up real quick. Hey.
Whatever, baby.
Just wanted to say hi.
So it really did say, hey, just wanted to say hi?
Yeah. Just wanted to say hi. And I was like, in my mind, bitch, we don't just say hi to each other. Fuck you want. That's what I'm thinking in my head. Fuck you want, right? Hold up. I get a gift that says Happy Valentine's Day with a star. Look, here you go. I'll show you. Look, Happy Valentine's Day gift, right?
Oh boy.
Look,
boy.
I respond to it. I respond to the gift. I'm like, me? For me?
By the way, good response because it's like playful.
Yeah.
Like I'm not just like giving you the finger,
right?
But I'm also not participating in this text thread.
This is not gonna go far beyond a response. But the thing is, for me, it's this: Valentine's Day is a scam. And the reason I say that is because I already just mentioned it. It's a $14 billion day worldwide annually, right?
And by the way, you mentioned earlier when we were on the phone doing some pre-show, you said this is another consumer tax.
Yes, this is a consumer tax on us because, for one, we just got paid back from the government. You know,
with tax money.
Yes.
Some people, they get early tax return.
Yes.
What is fucking terrible about this, and what I've always hated, is this is like 7 weeks after Christmas. So bitches get Christmas,
and New Year's.
Christmas the sequel.
Well, Thanksgiving,
on February 14th.
Halloween, it hit us back to back to back to back. We got Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's.
Well, hold on. Let's dissect that, because Halloween, if you have kids, yes, expensive costumes.
Well, even if you don't, Halloween is more for like the sexy kitties, sexy witches, sexy nurses.
Well,
you're going out.
I guess people would argue though, women get hit up on adult women get hit up. Adult women that don't have kids get hit up.
I'm talking about the tax.
Yeah,
the money that hit the pockets of
you're
us.
right.
So you're out here buying shit.
Thanksgiving's not that bad though, right?
Well, Thanksgiving is another tax because guess what?
Travel.
I was just about to say,
Yeah.
not only travel, but the grocery stores get a big hit, and is right. But if you're not going to see the people for Christmas that you're visiting for Thanksgiving, you probably got to get them their gift early.
Ooh, that's a good point.
So it's like, oh, we won't be able to see you on the East Coast because we're going on the West Coast for Christmas. So we'll give you what we were supposed to give it to you on Christmas now, and then we'll go West Coast or up north, Midwest, however the fuck it is. Like, this is, I'm not saying your specific case is the only case that's available. I'm just saying people with big families or people that are spread out, their family spread out, this is a real thing. So the taxes that hit us economically is on a monthly basis, back to back to back to back to back. So this is another one, and this is one of the biggest ones. And corporate companies, the card makers, the candy makers, because I don't know if you know about this, Wesley. It's actually funny.
I'll be honest. I had no idea it was $14 billion.
Oh, I didn't know.
That's
either.
insane to me.
Holy
shit!
When I researched it, I had to retrack. Said, was that $1 billion or $1 million? Because
and here's my problem. Of that $14 million, how much of that money does PM Dawn get for that song?
None.
I feel like they should get a lot of it.
They should get another. They should get,
especially if everybody is
70
playing that
cents.
song in their mind when they're at dinner. Come on, man. PM Dawn only had like 2 hits. Can y'all throw some money to PM Dawn, please?
Please help them out, man.
Jesus,
that's a good ass song, bro. I was also finding out this, man. Looking to the history of Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah. You kind of prefaced this when you showed up at Navigation Studios.
Yeah,
you were like, I got some good shit on the history of Valentine's Day.
Listen, it's some shit I didn't know. I love learning, so I'm good on it. So I wanted to come in and introduce Valentine's Day to the people, just in case they didn't know, and find out like why the hell we celebrate this shit anyway, right? I'll tell you.
There's a company called Hallmark.
Well, Hallmark is a,
Let me ask you this.
They jumped into the history.
I wish I would have asked my wife this. I wonder if Valentine's Day didn't exist, could Hallmark exist as a company? I wonder.
Yes, mainly because the most cards sent out from Hallmark annually is on Christmas.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
No, you know what? That totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Because maybe not everybody is celebrating Lover's Day,
right?
But everybody celebrates Christmas,
and even,
especially a lot of religious people too.
And you send cards to motherfuckers you don't even like anyway. So Valentine's is about the people closest to you. Christmas is about everybody. So
yeah.
And you got family.
Jesus Christ, Anthony, you're sending some knowledge out to our listeners today.
Yeah. I do this for you guys. You know what I mean?
This program is not for us. It's for you.
But Valentine's was about this, man. So back in the day, when the Romans were at war.
God, you're going way back.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
This is history, guys. When the Romans were at war, I can't remember his name.
Caesar?
No, it wasn't Caesar. It was another guy. It was around the 1800s.
This is really recent then.
Actually, let me take it back.
Augustus?
That sounds close. But the guy didn't want men to be married, okay? Because the Romans had passed a law to say that married men that were leaving their families were not focused enough at war. So they were not focused enough at war because they were thinking about their families, they were thinking about their wives, they were thinking
Is
about
it Claudius II?
Claudius sounds very familiar.
Claudius II executed 2 men, both named Valentine, on February 14th.
Don't steal my thunder.
I'm sorry, man. I was not trying. I was just trying to see. I was trying to jog your memory. Is it Emperor Claudius II?
So Saint Valentine was the guy who was secretly marrying couples who didn't want their husbands.
No shit, really?
Yes. He was secretly marrying couples who didn't want their husbands to go to war and leave their families. And he was martyred because of this. Because they found out that he was out marrying couples. What happened when he was put in jail because he was going to be executed?
Hold on a second. Explain this to me again. So if you were married, you didn't have to go to war?
You didn't. They would excuse you from war because mentally you would not. Your head wasn't in the game because you were thinking about your family.
Makes sense.
You were not fully engaged into the war, so you was worried about dying because you didn't want to die, so you wasn't fully engaged in warfare, right?
Yeah.
So they wanted men who were not married, but what St. Valentine was doing was he was secretly marrying these couples who were in love.
Gotcha.
So when they found out that he was captured and was going to be killed because that he married these couples off, they would come by and do what, Wesley? They would drop out flowers and notes as their appreciation to him marrying them off. And he sent his own letters out to the people that was close to him, and it was signed Your Valentine. So the history and the tradition comes from him being a martyr because he married off people who loved each other, who wanted to be married, and them giving them flowers and notes while he was in prison, and his own letters that he sent out to the people he was close to.
Well, Jesus Christ. I mean, I've never known this story. This is a beautiful story.
Right. That's why it kept...
Wow.
It kept...
Fuck, man.
It kept going as a tradition to be, passed on, and
so he's now a saint of the Catholic Church.
Saint, yeah.
Wow. Well, by the way, it's crazy how I went to a Catholic university and I didn't know this story. But that's a beautiful story. Now, it makes me feel guilty for hating Valentine's Day.
Well, fuck that, because the thing is, Wesley, the thing is why I say this. The reason I said fuck that is because the companies, the corporations said love is not about just who you care about. It's about how much money we can make off you. So if love is enough, then we don't need no cards made. We don't need flowers and candy and restaurant reservations, and we don't need all this shit. We just have love because guess what? I've been loving you before today. I loved you before today. I'm going to love you after today. Today is not a defined moment of how much I care about you. Every day of our lives together is what defines who we are. So when someone is able to monetize and say, hey, you ever been to a club before with a girl and some lady or some guy walk over with a rose for the lady?
Yeah.
Or a flower for the lady? And like, fuck. Like, if I don't get it, does it make me look like I don't give a fuck? Or, if I do get it, does it open a door for me later? Like, she doesn't know if y'all.
Well, we know it doesn't open a door.
It definitely doesn't.
But it makes you. It's this really terrible thing.
It's pressure.
It makes you look cheap.
It's societal pressure, and now society has said today is the day of love, and if you love the person that you're with, you have to do A, B, C, D, and if you don't, then guess what? They get to fucking hold you accountable on some fake day that don't mean shit to anybody, because how many people know this story that I just told you about?
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, I feel like because you told me this story, like I'm looking at the holiday totally differently. I'm being serious. It's a really fucking cool story.
Well, I don't
to save men's lives from going to war.
I don't hate the history of it. I hate the monetization of it. Do you feel me?
Oh, 100%.
Because the monetization of it doesn't care if you leave this bitch tomorrow. Long as you bought flowers today, right? They don't care what happens to your relationship later. They care about, are you going to buy or purchase my product for today? And they depend on that. You know what I mean? So that's a lot of money that's spent today, in the economy. So if today goes away, that's a lot of money that they don't get. You know what I mean? So I'll ask you this, Wesley.
Mm-hmm.
If you were starting a company and you said, "Hey, babe, I got a restaurant. I want to take you out today," and she was like, "Hey, did we hit quota?" And you're like, "No, we ain't hit quota this month yet." You was like, and she's like, "Well, I don't want you spending money on the food on us to eat. Let's just eat at home. That's gonna take 90% less than what we will spending out here. Let's put that money into the company and help you meet quota by marketing the company."
Yeah.
That's a bitch that's like care about you, right?
See, that's what my wife would do.
You know what I'm saying? That's
like I'll give you a specific to what happened today. You and I both know that I'm the highest level member of Total Wine. And one of the things I get is 2 free wine bags a month, just as being this highest, club member of Total Wine. And when she got me that bottle of whiskey tonight, I didn't know if she got like a bag to put it in, or if she used one of the free bags that I got. So I asked her, I was like, "Did you use the one of the free bags?" She's like, "Yeah." And I was like, it made me feel good. I'm like, cool, you didn't spend additional money. Like, because once you fucking take it out of the bag, it's done. It's just
right.
Like, yeah, I used one of the bags. So it felt good. I was like, oh, cool. That's money that's family didn't spend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where you got me this thoughtful gift, and I didn't even notice because I grabbed the bag so long ago. The same shit. You want a woman to feel like that for you too, right? Yeah. But that's not how it is out here in Western women world, is it?
Actually, like you were just saying, you was like, they want to brag. They want to say
unabashedly brag.
Yeah.
They want to. This is like Mean Girl. This is Mean Girl Central. They want to get on social media and be like, "You see how good my pussy is compared to your pussy? Your broke pussy that you've been married for 10 years. This guy's been dating me for 4 months. You see how good my pussy is compared to your 10-year married pussy?" Dude, they are fucking relentless because they want to get on social media and show you how good their pussy is and how much control they have over a man. It's fucking sick, Anthony. And by the way, the bar keeps going up and up and up and up and up. One bitch gets... I saw this on Twitter today. She's like, someone tweeted out, "I might be an asshole, but I'm an asshole that has a dozen roses on her desk at work." She was trying to be humorous, but in that humor is some truth.
Yeah, you told on yourself, bitch. And
you told on yourself, bitch. You told on yourself.
And and the thing is about this, man, like when I've been around good women, like women who are naturally sweet women, right? Where if you were dating them and Valentine's Day wasn't a big deal because it was just another day that went by, But if you treated them well since the time that you've been with them, Valentine's Day is not going to mean shit to them, right? It's not going to mean something that they get to fucking get something from you, right? Because they've gotten shit from you throughout the time they've known you. So when we talk about Valentine's Day, I'm not trying to shit on Valentine's Day for people who want to celebrate it and, show their significant other some appreciation, whatever, what have you. However you want to do that shit. But is that the only time you're going to ever show appreciation for that person? And if it is, then, why is that? Do you need to be reminded on how to treat somebody you actually care about?
Well, you and I have talked about on this program many, many times about how women cannot see out past themselves. Okay, and you were bringing it up just now. I was listening to Rollo Tomasi's third book this week. I'm almost finished with it. But on the way home today, it was a very, very shocking part of the book. And again, we give credit here to Rollo Tomasi. The Rational Male, Positive Masculinity is the book that this comes from. And to your point, Anthony, and you being a former sailor, this is going to really affect you. And we didn't do this in the pre-show, so we get to see Anthony's live reaction to this. But Rollo Tomasi talks about a quote from Hillary Clinton, and we're not trying to be political with this, but Hillary Clinton is a woman, and a very, very big woman in Western culture. And Hillary Clinton argues that women have always been the primary victims of war. And this is kind of play off of your St. Valentine's Day story, too. I can already see your face. You're like, what the fuck? Hillary Clinton argues, women have always been the primary victims of war. I'm sorry, guys. This is quoting. Women have always been the primary victims of war. Women lose their husbands, their fathers, their sons in combat. Women often have to flee from the only homes they have ever known. Women are often the refugees from conflict, and sometimes more frequently, in today's warfare, victims. Women are often left with the responsibility alone of raising the children. Women are again the victims in crime and domestic violence as well. Now, I'm going to end the quote there. That is a real woman's point of view, isn't it?
Completely.
That is a real...
Because...
That is a real... I mean, listen, what she said, if you're just a woman only thinking about yourself...
Yeah.
That is 100% true.
Right.
And that's the real truth serum. If you were listening to what I just read, and you were like, yeah, I mean, she's nailed it. Motherfucker, the other people fucking gave their lives. At least you're still alive, bitch.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Fuck? To act as if women, when someone else goes to war and gives their lives and dies, to act like women are the primary victims.
The primary victims.
The primary victims. Motherfucker, you still alive. That's what Valentine's Day reminds me of. Seriously.
That's horrible.
Women that can't get outside their own head of existence like there's somebody else on fucking planet Earth. I mean, seriously, to the point we were making earlier, I mean, if I was a chick that got like a Mercedes SUV for Valentine's Day, I might be, this is me as a guy, I might not want to post that online. Like, oh, Mercedes SUV. Fuck you, hoes. Fuck you, hoes. You only got flowers. Fuck you, hoes. That's what ladies are doing on social media on Valentine's Day, Anthony. They're like, I'm the primary victim.
I really can't understand that quote. This is why she didn't become president.
Well, 100%.
I mean,
well, Anthony, this is not, I know this is not your quote, but my quote that I've stood by for quite a long time, which is very controversial, is this is why women, my quote is, quote, this is why women can't be president, end quote. Because they're not, this isn't equal. You put up a meme earlier in social media this week where you said, equality, it's very different for women. When it's like you're at dinner on Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
listening to some PM Dawn in your head, I got the check. Women are like, yep, chivalry. And then in this cartoon, a man was carrying a 80-pound brick, and she was carrying a 20-pound brick. And the guy's like, I got paid more because I can lift heavier stuff. And above that, the bubble was like, inequality. Yeah, it's very convenient. Dude, in the world of men, women are like little kids right now. They're like, it's chivalry over here, inequality over there. You're not even equal in your own minds.
Right.
And, as Wesley says, famously, and by the way, I'm always here if you can prove me wrong. This is why women can't be president. Valentine's Day is another reason why women can't be president. This is a fucking fucked up weird holiday for it's Women's Christmas Part 2. Men don't even get a gift unless you have an amazing wife like mine who will get you a $55 bottle of whiskey, which that's my dream Valentine's Day. But I'm being serious when I say all the women before her have ruined this holiday so much for me. I can't even show up to a wife that I'm very in love with a child that I'm very in love with. I can't even show up and shop for her without just feeling this animosity of like, I fucking hate this holiday. It's this weird, by the way, before my wife, now my wife gets me a gift every year. That's brand new to me. I didn't know that was available to me. My wife gets me a gift every year. I'm like, well, this is fucking nice. This isn't what most men are experiencing, is it, Anthony?
No, they're trying to give what most guys are experiencing the same pussy they've been getting all year.
Yeah. The same pussy I've been getting all year. What a cool gift. Yeah.
I've seen memes all week talking about shave your Valentine's gift.
Yeah. That's a good call.
And I'm like, really? If that's all you have to offer, man, keep that shit.
By the way, like you would, I think because you and I enjoyed the whiskey so much, I keep talking about it. Mm-hmm. And again, Clyde May's Alabama style whiskey, guys. Seriously, that $55 is worth it. It might be a little bit more expensive where you're at, but Jesus Christ, Anthony and I really enjoyed it. Anthony, that was like drinking apple pie, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really
amazing.
good. And then we've learned to introduce, what you call a drop.
We introduced a drop of water. It changed. Oh, that was good.
Right.
You know what? I don't think I'll ever have Clyde May's Alabama style whiskey without water after that. It was so good. Anyways, guys, sorry to nerd out on you. But when you talk to most women, they don't even know what to get men. I've heard women say like, yeah, well, he gets me roses, so I'm just gonna, you could get him like I don't know, like you could get him like a bamboo plant,
Somebody sent me.
Don't no fucking men want no goddamn bamboo plant, bitches. What the fuck?
Somebody sent me a meme that was showing the grocery store aisle where all the douches were like missing. Like it was like he was like, well, at least your Valentine's gift will be clean, right? So it's like, damn, these bitches ain't cleaning their pussy throughout the year. Like this is a different day that you get to fucking sanitize your vagina. Like what the fuck,
Anthony?
This is so weird.
I have a hard question for you.
What's that?
Have you ever had a great Valentine's Day?
No.
Really?
I
wow. Okay.
I don't.
You know what a great Valentine's Day for me, and my wife has given it to me twice. It's a day where I don't have to stress about Valentine's Day. It's the greatest gift you could ever give me.
When you said
please, God, don't get me something expensive, and then I didn't get you something expensive, and God fucking damn it, man.
The reason I was able to answer that question so quickly is because of that exact reason. Like I always had to stress about what the fuck was happening.
That's what it is, right?
So
I'm not the only one. You're the same way. You're like, God fucking damn it, I gotta stress.
Like what's gonna happen
shit.
Is it
You're
gonna be
less of a
enough?
man if you show up.
Let me explain to you what I did. This was the last Valentine's Day I ever spent money on and put time into. So I'm a very good cook. So I decided that I was going to surprise her with a meal. This meal was going to consist of a T-bone steak that was going to be stuffed with a crab filling. That's going to be accompanied by lobster tails, scallops, and shrimp. One of her favorite side dishes was cream spinach. So I was gonna make cream spinach from scratch, and I was gonna make a mushroom and onion sauce that was gonna go on top of everything, right? So I cook all this. I go to the store. I buy the shit. I cook it. You know what I'm saying? I plate it. I played it to the point where I played this shit on a gourmet level. And at the time, she was...
As you often do. Everyone on this show knows you're a great cook.
At the time, me and her were not on a good speaking terms, I guess, if you want to say that.
Well, that's not
good. But at the time, I was like, fuck it. You know, it's Valentine's Day. We'll get over whatever this is, and we'll just enjoy the day together. Because she's big on fucking holidays. I'm not big on holidays. She's big on holidays. So I was really doing this for her. This wasn't for me. This is because I know she's a good... She's always big on holidays. So I cook all this food, man, you know, and... I'm talking about different seafoods on different levels, and I gotta clean all this shit up, right? And so I'm plated. She's in a room. She's in the bedroom. She knows I'm cooking. I'm sure she can smell. You can smell steak and fucking lobster and shrimp and scallops. Taste.
Especially
You know what I'm
the
saying?
steak. I
Yeah.
mean, steak.
You know
fills
this
up the whole house. You know.
She knows something's going down. You know, I tell her, I say, hey, babe, I cooked this dinner. You want to come join me for dinner? It's ready. She comes out. You know, I knock on the door. I say that through the door. She comes out. I'm in the kitchen. I set the plates on the kitchen island, and she comes and picks up her plate, looks at me, says thank you, and walk back into the bedroom. And closes the door.
Were you on bad terms, or?
Bruh. Bad terms or not, I just cooked you a fucking gourmet dinner.
So you were.
I like I told you, I think we wasn't on on speaking terms where we were just going about our day and like a normal regular. I was sleeping in a separate bedroom, I guess. So if you want to even, you know, get to the details of that, but still, like the appreciation of someone else cooking you a fucking restaurant quality fucking dinner where you're not gonna get, if you go to a restaurant and get a fucking T-bone steak, shrimp, scallops, lobster, crab stuffed steak with a sauce and wine, how much are you spending? How much are you spending?
It's not but it's not just that, Anthony. It's more than that, because you've cooked for me, and I've cooked with you many times. You know, we're best friends. We've done this many times before. There is a real passion you put into cooking, and you don't get that from a restaurant that's mass producing shit. Like if you went to there used to be this restaurant here. I'm not sure if it's here still in Houston or not. Forgive me, guys. It's called Cafe Annie. And they might do, on a weeknight, they might serve 8 tables a night. they might serve 8 tables a night. That cook in the back is getting everything perfect, and he is passionate, right? Guys, I don't care. And I've worked with a lot of great kitchen people. When you're making 475 steaks a night, it's hard to be passionate about one fucking steak. You see what I'm saying? Even if you're just really, really good at it. And this is, Anthony, this is why I was going to get lobster on the way home. Unfortunately, the rest of Houston had the same idea. I would much rather cook something really nice at my house. And listen, I'm an older guy. I get it. Maybe this dates me, but I'm also a good cook. You're also a good cook. Whenever you have a guy focusing on just 2 plates of food and that's all they're focusing on for hours, most places you go and eat, that food's got to be out there in 14 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the time in the industry. 14 minutes. If you go to a higher place, 22-ish. 22. Most people aren't really willing to wait more than 22 minutes for food.
Because it's mass produced in a commercial setting like that,
and Anthony,
they have the menu set already. You don't really get to choose.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, you've already got the menu set.
Yeah, they give you a menu. So they've already had this shit pre-cooked. All they're pretty much doing is throwing that shit through a warmer and sending that shit out.
Well, hold on. That's not true.
I'm saying this. When I say warm, it depends on where you go.
Like if you go to Papa's Brothers Steakhouse here.
No. That's different. I'm saying.
But I'm saying the level of meal you were cooking.
Right. Okay.
It was probably better than that.
Oh,
because Papa's Brothers Steakhouse is not going to spend. I mean, how long did you spend on that? A couple hours?
Hour and a half. 2
Yeah,
hours,
okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Papa's Brothers Steakhouse is not going to spend an hour and a half on 2 plates.
No.
That's what I'm saying. That's the logistics of it, folks. Roll your eyes all you want. I've cooked with Anthony. I can attest for his cooking. It's grand. And Papa's Brothers Steakhouse even, and by the way, nobody on this podcast is ever going to dog on Papa's Brothers Steakhouse. They are the bee's knees as far as I'm concerned. Restaurants here in Houston, they are that fucking good. But they are not even going to spend an hour and a half on 2 plates.
No.
Fucking forget it. No, sir. And to your point, Anthony, they have some systems in place.
Right, where?
They have a whole kitchen set up, whatever. But they're not even going to spend an hour and a half. So it's really this fucking thing where Valentine's Day has become nothing's really good enough.
It's never good
Even
enough.
if you're not on speaking terms, to your point, you should come down there and be like, well, shit, this is amazing. No matter how bad off we are, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to have this meal with you.
Yeah.
Because what fucking human being wouldn't?
Right.
You fucking asshole. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the other
No,
person.
I get it. I trust me, man. That was the last time I spent my time, effort, money to celebrate a holiday. To me, that was kind of taken for granted, man. It was
kind of.
kind of taken.
It was
for granted.
kind of taken for granted.
Where even though I cooked for her before, it's not that I never cooked for her before. I've cooked for her before. It's just that the effort I took into it because I was trying to make it special, right? And guess what? I got her flowers. I got her, I got dessert, because I was like, I'm cooking everything else. I'm not gonna cook dessert. I'll buy dessert. You know what I'm saying? So I got her like this heart shaped fucking cake, shortcake, and it was like a cheesecake, and with the tart, like with the fruit on top, shaped in a heart. $25 fucking dollar, cake, dessert that you could probably buy for $10 the next day. You know what I mean? Because who's buying heart shaped fucking desserts?
I don't know. I mean, you could sell that 7 days a week to me.
Well, I'm sure, but I in my opinion, well, I did some more research about the day after Valentine's. There's a day for Valentine's the day after, right?
Oh,
it's
tell
called.
us. Oh, what is it?
It's called Singles Awareness Day. somebody got to buy this leftover shit that everybody else didn't buy, right? So, Single Awareness Day. You know what the syllables for Single Awareness Day stand for?
Sad.
Is it? You know what I'm saying? it's so sad, bro.
Well, I will tell you, and because I dogged on my ex-wife earlier, I'm going to give her a compliment, but then I'm going to slam her even harder here.
Okay.
So, her and I decided, because at one time her and I were working in restaurants at the same time, so we could not celebrate Valentine's Day. So we started celebrating Valentine's Day a week after. So we would actually go grab all this fucking half-price shit and have a cheap Valentine's Day.
Cool.
So we kept this thing going. But what it eventually got to was, because we celebrated a week later, this fucking greedy bitch, this greedy bitch wanted like triple the fucking gifts. And so it was like no longer like you were saving any fucking money. It just meant she just got more shit.
I get more because it's cheaper.
No, you spend the same fucking dubious amount, but I just get triple the fucking gifts. What a fucking dumb bitch, man.
Wow.
But guess whose fault it was?
Yours.
It was mine.
Yep.
I spoiled this fucking dumb bitch the first Valentine's Day, and I told her, I was like, not going to do another Valentine's Day like this again. I just did this because it's our first Valentine's Day.
Okay.
And this fucking dumb hoe. Like, it's just, Western women are kind of pieces of shit. Which is why in our next segment, we have a public service announcement, Anthony.
Okay. Lay it on me. Well, what we going to tell the people?
The Red Pill Phone Tap has an official public service announcement. The public service announcement follows. The Red Pill Phone Tap would kindly ask you, gentlemen, to quit validating these hoes. Guys, we have to have a segment on this. Jesus. Quit validating these hoes. Guys, this is tough love. This is what the next segment is about. We talk about this thing, and by the way, back there in the back right, next to the Cougar cheerleaders, thank you very much for that. That was, I appreciate that.
I appreciate the Cougars.
I appreciate the Cougars. Thank you. Those of you there at U of H is what I meant, right? Guys, we talk about this. Every man's an alpha male. Every man's a guy after his purpose that I talk to. So we would all know, like in a public restroom, when you go in there, we live in a society. We don't want the next dude, because it's a men's restroom, right? It's a men's restroom. We don't want the next dude, if he has to go number 2, to sit on some fucking urine, right? So as a real man in society, we're going to raise that lid to help out our brother, right? Yeah, every guy I talk to says they do it, but every time I go in the fucking public restroom, there's piss all over the goddamn seat. And it fucking drives me insane, and this is the exact same thing we talk about with validating hoes. Jesus Christ, guys. It's Anthony and I were talking about this earlier this week. And I get very passionate about this because, guys, we could easily drive down the price of pussy and the value of pussy if you guys could just listen to what I'm about to tell you. Quit validating these hoes. Listen,
on it.
Anthony and I were talking about this earlier this week. I was on my Facebook feed, and a girl comes in. And by the way, guys, this doesn't even really, if you take a step back, it doesn't even really seem like a post that thirsty dudes would jump in on. And let me tell you what she fucking said. She just comes in on Facebook, on the Facebook feed. Worst date ever. That doesn't even seem like something that thirsty dudes would jump in on. Yeah, I'm sorry, baby. You're so gorgeous. Oh my God, you had a bad date. I can't believe a man wouldn't treat you right. Dude, it doesn't even seem like something that thirsty dudes would jump on. But when I saw it, I knew that's where the fuck this was going. Guys, I don't understand why you can't get that validating hoes does not get you any closer to vagina than fucking spitting in bitches' faces. Spit in bitches' faces for equal number of times that you validate hoes. I would often, I wonder what the ratio is. Who gets laid more? Tell a bitch her mom ain't shit and then validate same number of times. I don't know which one's going to get you laid more, but I really don't know, because validating bitches, guys, does not get you any closer to her vagina than anything else. But let me tell you, Anthony, this is what the guys are going to say. They're going to be like, well, this one time I validated a bitch and you got in the vagina. Yes, every once in a while it fucking happens. By the way, Anthony, you and I say on this show time and time again, a broken clock is what?
Right twice.
Right twice a day. Every time you motherfuckers validate a bitch and accidentally happenstance into some fucking vagina, you think validating hoes is the way to go. Anthony, you can tell I'm emotional about this. Would you please explain to these guys why they can't validate hoes? Please.
As
Jesus
you can
Christ.
see, my partner in this feels right now about this shit. Y'all gotta stop doing this shit. Really. At least stop doing this shit where he can see it. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
That's not what this public service announcement is about. I'm trying to teach these guys this does not help you to validate these women.
Do that shit in the alley where you don't know y'all out here validating hoes. Listen, the thing is this. I'll get to the nitty gritty of the shit. Giving her the validation that she seeks, even when she's at her. Think about this, and let's just use his example for instance. Let's say you're the guy who all these other guys are saying. Well, let's not use that, because anytime guys get the dog pile other guys, if somebody shits on somebody who's like trying to seek attention, they tend to get dogpiled by other simps. But let's say you talk to a chick who says that she just got out of a bad date. She happens to talk to you, say, hey, I was on the worst date I ever been on. And instead of you giving her validation, hey, he was probably a jerk, right? He was probably not the guy for you. You're probably, don't assume shit. You never know. You don't know. She could have been late for the date. She could have tried to change the date on this guy, and you don't know the circumstances. So don't assume shit right away. Matter of fact, how about you say, so what happened? What did you do wrong?
Do you know what I compare it to, Anthony? Do you know how this is one thing I admire about the black community? The black community really tries to be there for each other. That's what I like. When Gail,
most of us.
Well, I was going to point out when Gail King really kind of attacked Kobe Bryant's legacy recently, and then Snoop Dogg came out on Twitter and was like, God damn, like, why are you going to tear down one of us? And again, the black community's come a long way, but Kobe Bryant transcends black, white, Asian. I mean, Kobe Bryant is one of the most excellent individuals when it just comes to achieving excellence. How many languages did he speak?
Like 5?
Yeah, 5 or 6.
Yeah, it was French, Italian, Spanish, English.
But just when it comes to achieving excellence, he broke all race barriers. I mean, Kobe Bryant didn't achieve excellence for a black guy. Kobe Bryant's one of the most, as far as achieving athletic excellence in the entire world and the history of the world, Kobe Bryant is right up there in the conversation, top 5 athletes ever. And Snoop Dogg came out and was like, hey, why the fuck you attacking one of us? For the black community, this is a shining fucking star of the world. Like I said, beyond race, this is one of the most excellent human beings that's ever lived. And he comes out, he's like, why are you attacking one of us? That's how I feel with this fucking bullshit that guys do when it comes to women. Like, bad date? Should have gone on a date with me. Just assuming that this bitch isn't a cunt, which most fucking women are. Okay, they think that everything's got to be fucking done for them on a date. They don't do shit. They just show up and arrive and they're on vacation. God damn it. So you got all these fucking dudes that won't just stick up for other dudes. They're like, there should have been at least 5 or 6 dudes show up on that thread and be like, well, so what did you do?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What the fuck? There was 0. There was, on this thread that I'm talking about, 21 thirsty dudes. You know?
Can I please be next?
Yeah.
That's what that sounds like.
Can I please be next that you come on social media and dog me out? There was even a guy on that thread, I'm not kidding, goes, what about our date?
Wow.
Guess what she responded to that?
What?
Nothing. Yeah. What about our date, though? Nothing.
That's not gonna get you a
you
date,
are,
guys.
You are literally in the friend zone. You're in the Facebook friend zone.
One thing that I don't like is
validating hoes.
Well,
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That even if you do, let's say this chick is just that fucking shockingly beautiful, right? You've been probably caught off guard by a bitch's beauty before, but like, god damn. Mm-hmm. Even if you do,
but then they talk.
Right, that's what I'm about to say. I was just about to say, but then you engage beyond that, right? There's something that you add to, like you don't just validate her and then that's all you give her, like, because guess what? That's what majority of the other guys are doing. They're trying to validate her. They're trying to they're like, if I give you the best compliment, are you gonna pick me next? That's what that sounds like.
Anthony, hold on. You just said it. That's what they really think, isn't it? Mm-hmm. If I give her the best compliment, I get rewarded with vagina next.
Yep.
You fucking dumbasses. Would you please stop doing this? Guys, we have to call a moratorium on validating women. You gotta stop. All you know is that they're a pretty face. You don't know anything about them.
She could be a ruthless bitch.
I remember when I first started dating in Houston, I'll never forget this chick. I thought we had a real connection because we were both in the Army. And she was really, really intellectually smart. She was working on her master's program in statistics. And I was like, whoa, this is kind of intimidating to me. You know, it's like statistics was a tough class for me in college. And statistics...
But is it like, what the fuck you do with statistics, though? Like,
well, it's very complex, Anthony, because you're talking about...
I hate math, so I'm kind of biased.
Well, let me give you an example of statistics. So if our
like
listeners...
the weather?
Let me give you an example of statistics. So a bell curve, for instance, is a big part of statistics.
Okay.
So if I eat 1 donut, it's pleasurable to me. If I eat 2 donuts, more pleasurable. If I eat 3 donuts, just a little bit more pleasurable. If I eat 4 donuts, So we've already reached the top of the bell curve. If by the time I eat that 11th donut, it's no longer a pleasurable experience.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what you're dealing with in statistics when you deal with companies. You know, like if you're selling iPhones, this many features gets us to the top of the bell curve. We add more features and we're going down the other side. That's what Android, by the way, has struggled with.
Okay.
They can't keep their features tight. iPhone knows what their users like more than anybody else, and plus they've been, integrated with their users for a lot of years. We won't go into a lot of it, but Android is just kind of the Wild West. Is there's so much this thing can do. Well, what does it do? Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like what though? Like whatever, and it's just like, no. iPhone is like very compact. It does this, it does this, it does. And you're like, yeah, that's exactly what I want. This chick was very into statistics, so very intellectual. She was also in the Army, so we had a lot in common. And hanging out with her, she was very like cool, and we had a great time, hang out, have fun, hook up, the whole thing. And then you find out something like her daughter lives with her mom in another state. So you moved here without your daughter? Yeah. So what, you don't have custody of her? No, I have 100% custody. So you just moved here? Okay. I can't take you serious, but everything else was just so in line. You know what I mean? But with the validating mindset I had back then, I was like, oh my God, she's beautiful. She's got big old titties, blonde hair. She's intellectual. She's all this other shit.
Yeah.
But she just left her daughter somewhere. It's not like a situation where a lot of men fall into, where the baby mama just takes them and fucking leaves, or won't let them see him, or it's only supervised visitation, or what the fuck ever. This bitch was just like, no, dad's disappeared. I just left it with the mom. But she presented herself like this so well put together person, but she saw her daughter twice a year. You know what I'm saying? And until I knew that about her, I was just so impressed with this person. And it was like, yeah, it's easy for you to pursue all these dreams because you put your major responsibility off on somebody else.
Yeah.
But it was because, and by the way, I wasn't good at vetting women back then. But had I just sat around and adored all the good features, I would have ignored wow, if she's not really that attached to her daughter, how attached could she be to a boyfriend?
Anybody.
Yeah, anybody. Good point. Yeah, good point. Women need to earn your validation. You guys have heard me tonight on this program talk about my wife getting me a bottle of whiskey. Where women I talk to with Valentine's Day, they don't even know what to fucking get their dudes. With my wife, that probably took her 2 seconds. Because she actually has earned her way into my life, has actually become a good spouse, has actually, I vetted her before she got into my life, and because I was a lot more experienced.
Can you explain to people what that means to you, though? When you say, I vetted her into my life, where now, because it's like this to me. When somebody I vetted, I don't have to follow them when they go in different rooms in my house. Mm-hmm. Right? She get to walk freely throughout the house without me be like, hey, where you going? What you need? I don't have to ask you, well, hey, you need something? I'm not following behind you. The only time, the only room a stranger get to come in your house is probably the bathroom, right? You don't get to fucking let you go to the back room and get to go through the closets and shit. And you don't let motherfuckers just go freely. Especially for me, if somebody goes in my kitchen and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna follow them. What the fuck they doing in my kitchen? You know what I'm saying? Right. So when you say
motherfucker,
vet,
are you stealing a blender?
Right. So when you say vet guys, when you're telling guys that don't know what vetting is or not familiar with vetting women, because you're telling them not to, can you explain to them what process is there that has to happen for a woman that you vetted to be in your life, to get to know you to the point where it takes them 2 seconds to know what the fuck to buy you on Valentine's Day?
Right. Well, one of the things that I'm having to deal with live, because we didn't do a pre-show on this, but the one topic you and I do never shy away from on this show, because you and I are so passionate about how important it is vetting. Mm-hmm. We never shy away from, hey, we got a segment on this, so let's not talk about vetting. You and I feel like vetting is so important that we always squeeze it in wherever we can.
It can be every show.
Literally every show. Because, guys, what we're seeing that you do is you see a woman that's beautiful physically and you find out nothing else about her.
Right.
And that's what you got to stop. You have to find out more about her.
Or you just accept her because she's beautiful.
Right.
No matter what it is.
And you just give her the keys to the franchise.
Yeah.
But Anthony, since you asked me that question live, because you're kind of asking me, how do you vet women. It forced me to deal with this. So I'm going to be very sympathetic to our listeners right now. It forced me to deal with vetting is a real art. Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest, because you were asking me specifically like how I vetted my wife. And so you kind of got me in that mode where I was actually like thinking about it. I was thinking about things that she said and how I was observing things when she didn't even know that I was observing certain things, because I was being very covert about what I was doing. And I'm forced.
And you should.
Yeah, 100%. You don't want to overtly be like, hey, bitch, where your family from? What's your relationship with your father?
Right.
We ain't going on a third date till I know what the relationship with your father is like.
Right.
You know, you have to kind of covertly gather little bits at a time. You've kind of forced me to admit to our listeners that this is a skill I developed over many, many years. And I was fortunate to be in a profession, which is sales, where this is part of what I did for a living, where I'm like trying to find out, is this someone that could buy from me? Do they have enough money to buy from me? Is this the right customer to buy from me? So it became very, very second nature. But when I'm talking about the things that I did to vet my wife, I'm going to admit, brother, they're very advanced. This is something like, I would look at the expression on, if I asked her a question about something, I would look at the expression on her face. If she was uncomfortable to answer it, then I would know, maybe probe a little bit more in that topic.
So you're not falling in love with a bitch in a month or two, right? Like you, when you say you're vetting someone, you're not saying, oh, I know this person enough in 2 months that I love her and I can move in with her.
No, I'm not saying that that's not it, because I fell in love with my wife very very quickly. But my vetting skills were over, I had decades of like.
So
I'm not saying it's
even
impossible.
though you got the skills to vet someone.
Yeah.
When you start to vet them, are you vetting them from afar, or is this something that you're doing?
That's a good question.
Proactively while you're spending time with them. What is your process when it comes to vetting them?
Okay, so that's a good question. So I want to a big part of the vetting process with me and my wife, I noticed how independent she was. So I was very focused on that. And she had her own apartment. She was divorced, and she was separated in the process of getting divorced. They had been separated for quite a long time. But I noticed how independent she was. So I was very interested in that, because we talk about hypergamous women, and it's very much like, is a woman trying to just go, you've brought this up many times on the program, is she just trying to go from one relationship to the next? Or is she in a true state of independence where she can choose the guy that she wants? So I was very, very into that. And so there was a lot of vetting took place where she told me she had dated other guys before. So I knew it wasn't like it was from the husband to me. She had been out. She had played the field. She had gotten that. I was very concerned, like, okay, this person was married not too long ago, but now I see that she's
You're not a rebound.
Yeah, not a rebound. Not like I'm scared to be alone. I mean, she was very, very independent. She had a dog. She had an alarm system in her house. Very, very independent with her bills. Those were things I was very, very like cued in on. I was like, okay, this is something we can build on. This person's independent. I'm very independent. I'm not connected to anybody in any way. I had been dating. So this was something where I'm like, okay, I'm kind of watching this. Now, her and I had chemistry very, very quickly. And Corey Wayne talks about this in many videos and in his book. Guys, and I've talked about this many times, this is why you have to get your dating skills ready to go, because you'll meet somebody that you have amazing, just boom, chemistry with.
Right.
And her and I had it. And by the way, guys, if you don't have that chemistry, don't sweat. it's very rare. But when you have it, you want to be ready to go. You want to be the top of your fucking game. And I was the top of my game for my life, then. That was the top of my dating life ever in my life. So I'd become very good, very skilled at dating. So I was ready. So I didn't need to be desperate. I could kind of sit back and go, wow, this person really has my interest. It doesn't matter what we do together. We have this amazing chemistry where we have fun doing whatever the fuck we're doing. To this day, it's still like that. Like, we go grocery shopping. It's fucking fun. Even with a 5-month-old baby, we still that's just the chemistry we have, right? But it was just sitting back and observing, like, we have this amazing chemistry, but is this still for real? And you have to have the discipline as a guy. I told my wife this earlier this week because you and I talked about it. Men are very, very quick to become loyal and have feelings for people. That's why you have to have rules to not jump in. You have to, man. You have to protect yourself. Because once men become caring towards someone,
in it to win it.
I mean, they're in it to death. This is why men make great soldiers. To your point with the St. Valentine's Day story, all that stuff. When men are just independent men in the world and you become friends with them, like, men will die for other men. I mean, this is, you talk about the Bloods and the Crips and the Greek and Roman Empire and the U.S. military. I mean, men will fucking die for other men just being friends.
Yeah.
So what the fuck do you think they'll do for women?
That they love.
Yeah. So you've got to really make sure you vet these women before you go in. And guys, that's why we're trying to tell you to lay off on all this fucking validation. Just calm down. We talked about last week negs with pickup artist approach. By the way, guys, no, Anthony nor me, we're never suggesting that you manipulate your way into someone else's life. You're never going to hear that on this program. Never going to hear that. Okay?
I don't manipulate. Manipulation comes from someone who can't be true to who they are.
Right. Well, and I would say for people like you and I that are just passionate about shit, it would be like Anthony, when you were talking about earlier, just unfreeze drying some food and running it through the warmer and presenting it as a good meal.
Right.
To me, and I think to Anthony too, manipulation's lazy.
Yep.
You have to come as yourself, but still have the skills to be able to pick up people. But in that, this pickup artist stuff is valuable because there's some good tools in there.
The reason I don't like using pickup artist, the term, is because the negative,
because it is disingenuous, right?
Yeah. Well, the negative connotation that comes with it.
Yeah.
Because it seems like you're trying to play a game when people hear pickup artists, they think it's a game you're playing. And the thing is that
there's just some sort of negative connotation to it, right?
Yeah, and the thing
but that's not what we're saying.
When I learned pickup artistry or the strategies in it, I didn't pick it. I didn't learn it because I was like, yeah, I'm trying to get all the pussy I can with these women. They ain't gonna know no idea that I'm getting pussy from them.
We should have prefaced with that. To me and you,
it wasn't.
Yeah, to me and you, learning pickup artist shit was the same as like going to Toastmasters. You're just trying to learn how to be comfortable around women. And have some real solid strategies.
To the point where you're not fucking up and
falling all over yourself.
And because the thing is, for me, was I was already confident as far as like being around a woman, but I wasn't confident approaching a woman and being like, you should come talk to me.
Because Anthony, you've never been taught how to fucking do it.
Ever.
If you were to ever watch a movie on this fucking bullshit, movies do not show you how to do this. Your father does not show you how to go up and talk to women because he probably don't fucking know either.
Well, the movies and TV shows teach you the
opposite.
And you see these beta males that they like you said, these fucking sitcoms that laugh at the dad that's like he has no respect in the household. Nobody in the family respects him, not the children, not the mother, not the step parents, and the what would they call, is it step parents or
the in-laws?
The in-laws. They don't respect them, right? Because the woman's running the shit.
And because masculinity is evil.
It's not.
Yeah.
And the thing is, guess what? Women are attracted to masculinity. And this is why they dated like these bad guys or the bad boys, however you want to fucking call it. And when they come to you, it's like, you know what? Fuck it. You know, I don't want to get, used and abused by these guys anymore. I'll just deal with this fucking beta guy who's going to pay everything, and then I'll just be happy with being secure financially, but I'm not going to feel happy in my relationship.
But let me bring it down to planet Earth, okay? Because we were talking about last week the X's and O's of we were using the pickup artist stuff as X's and O's of like cold approaches. You know what? X's and O's is not a good term.
Why not?
Because what it should be is fundamentals. Okay, so I want you, this is not a strategy in a sport. This is more like your fundamental. If you're playing basketball.
Blocking and tackling?
Exactly. Like if you're playing basketball, dribble with your right hand, dribble with your left hand. Switching over. Here's a bounce pass. Hands together, pop. You're going to put hands together, pop, pass over. You're going to go down. What we're talking about is not manipulating shit. We're talking about fundamentals. If you go to catch a football, you're going to make the window with your hands. You're going to let the football break the window. You're going to catch with your hands, not your body. That's what pickup artist techniques are. For me, at least, it could be a manipulation technique for other people. But
well, that's for people that's looking for something specifically that has nothing to do with a relationship. I think guys that are looking for pussy only can manipulate pickup artistry.
I'm not against Anthony. I'm not against men that want to just date, though. I don't feel like if they use techniques to meet women and they have no intention of being in a relationship, they just want to date. I feel like these are just fundamentals of meeting women.
This is not. I mean,
you don't have to want a relationship.
I'm not judging anyone. I'm not in that position to do that. What I'm saying is that you can use these techniques to get to your ultimate goal that you have individually.
Yeah,
right?
I don't want to make these techniques though like they're not so much strategy as they are. This is fundamentally how you play the sport. If you are playing baseball, you need to have your left. If you're a right-handed hitter, you need to be up on your left tiptoe, and you need to have your right elbow up.
That's
so you
style
can
of
come
batter,
down.
though.
Yeah, so that style of batter, exactly.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about stealing signs. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the fundamentals of swinging the bat, going up to a girl. To the point, I'm sorry, it's been very roundabout, but going to negs, where you would say, you're very beautiful. What do you got going on besides your looks? That to me is a great fundamental because it takes the guys into the place of, yes, they are beautiful, but that's not everything.
Right.
What is there more to you? And it's a fundamental, like swinging all the way through the baseball or swinging all the way through the tennis ball. Mm. It's a fundamental. This isn't some sort of manipulation where you're playing some sort of fucking chess match. There's a chess match to come later, but when we're talking cold approaches and pickup artist techniques.
It's just the beginning.
It's just a fundamental. And you don't have to be looking for a relationship. You could just be looking to meet women or just looking to date, whatever. But this is fundamentals of just going to talk to women is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's nothing evil. There's nothing evil about this.
It's not, and this is where you'll fuck up. If you are already thinking about the outcome on just the meetup.
I'm sorry, Anthony. I want you to repeat that because when we were talking about that this week, that is such a good point. When you said you can't be thinking about the outcome, right?
Yeah. If you're thinking about how it's going to end before it even got started, you're fucking up because now you're putting so much on the interaction, and she's going to feel that pressure. And it may not come across exactly to the way that you, but you got to understand, like, it's so fragile in the moment, especially when you meet somebody that don't know you. Like, if you come off as a creep in any way,
creep is a good point. Yeah.
She's gonna fucking bail, right? So,
or if you come off too thirsty.
Right.
Or, I mean, that's why you have to have fundamentals standing there in the box. You got to have fundamentals, man.
Like, all I'm doing is introducing myself, and I'm having a conversation with you, getting to know you.
And you need some jumping off points. You got to have some jumping off points because it takes place in milliseconds, man.
Well, you only got, when I was in sales, it was called the elevator speech.
Yeah.
You got 30 to 60 seconds to describe who you are, what you want, what you can do. Right?
Who you are, what you want, and what you can do. Mm-hmm. And in dating, it's less.
It's pretty much the same. It's just not so intense as far as trying to gain someone's business, right?
Yeah.
So when you're just introduced, and it should be a lot more casual. You know, it's not so intense where, like, hey.
Good take.
You know what I mean? So
it should not be intense.
That's why I said.
Yeah.
That's why I said about the picking up shit, like the pickup artistry. It's not about lines. It's about being social.
Yes.
You're just communicating with the opposite sex. You're communicating with the opposite
Which
sex.
for some people is terrifying.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is why you kind of have to have some fundamentals going in. So you have some, to point out, you brought this up 2 weeks in a row. You have some foundations you can attach yourself to. Mm-hmm. I'm a little lost. Let me go back to, all right, we're just in a set. Or let me just go back to, I didn't shock and awe. Let me try to go back. Let me go back to some things, just some fundamentals. All right, you're still at bat. Mm-hmm. I mean, shit, you're down 0-2 in the count, but we can still work our way out of this. You have to have some fundamentals. I heard from someone this week who was listening to our show, and they had the impression that there was some sort of manipulation going on. That is not what we're preaching on this show, man.
Not at all.
We're not trying to teach you how to talk your way into pussy on the show because, guys, we all know, and Anthony, we've talked about this many times. We never talked about it on the show. What happens with a lot of these pickup artists is they will have these great fundamentals, and they will pick up a girl, they'll get a girlfriend, and then they just become their regular selves, and that girl leaves. They're like, oh, shit, you fooled me into thinking you were something you're not. Like,
yeah, see, that. And see,
to your point, you've said it many times, you have to become the material.
Yes.
You can't be some fake manipulating guy. That's not the way this works.
Nope. It's so fucking important what you just said, because if you're just reading the book 1, 2, 3 times enough, right?
You're talking about How to Be a 3% Man by
Correct.
Corey Wayne.
Sorry. And if you just know the material and you're not the material, how can you continue?
You're stuck in technique. You're so stuck in that, aren't you?
And now you don't have the fortitude to maintain what you've learned, because it's not who you are. It is what you know. So now, once you're in this position, and now she's trying to hold you to task, because you've done the things right in the intro.
So she's like, I met this completely other person. What's going on with you
right now?
But
now, and this is what happens, man. This is what normally happens. And it's just human nature. It's what it is. This is why Corey Wayne, he will speak to you and tell you, read the book 10, 15 times. You gotta fucking read that book multiple times to the point to where it's who you are, and you understand what the fuck you're doing, when you're doing it, and why you're doing it. You understand that shit? and it's smooth to you, then you can go on and say, okay, cool. I'm doing this because this is who the fuck I am. It's not because I've learned it or I've heard of it and I saw somebody. No, this is who I am. I'm maintaining this course. And when I tell you I'm going 270 degrees west, bitch, that's because I'm going. I'm going 270 degrees west, and that's why I'm going. I know why I'm going 270 degrees west. If you don't want to flow with me, fuck it. I'll leave you back there. But that's where I'm going. And if you're just learning it and you're like, I don't know why I'm going 270 degrees west, and she's gonna push you.
Is it 271?
Yeah, right. And she's like, "Do we have to go 200? No, we can go. We can go the other way if you want." That's when she's gonna be like, "Well, that's not the guy I met." You know what I mean? Because now
the guy I met was very certain where he was going.
Exactly.
And to Anthony's point, you just learned a technique. You were faking it. Then you got her as your girlfriend. And in that case, it really was a manipulation technique.
Yep.
You didn't become it. I mean, when you and I do the pre-show, Anthony, have we, other than texting, have you and I ever really disagreed on anything? I mean, whenever we do pre-show, we're doing cool shit like you looked up like where Valentine's Day comes from, and I was like, oh my god, that's fucking cool. Like, you're looking up like facts and shit. But when it comes to like our philosophy on shit, we don't have to discuss anything.
Not at all.
And by the way, there's never a time so far, I mean, it might happen in the future. There's never a time where we've been stuck on something like, I don't know the answer to that one. Because this is literally, this red pill life is literally who we are. And we will not be deterred.
Yeah, this is how I live my life. Like, I've been challenged about how I live my life when it comes to this because an ex have challenged me. She was like, "It seems like you're more mean. Like you don't."
Here comes some fuckery,
right?
I mean, dude.
And the thing
hold on,
is,
did you know how like when I said "here comes some fuckery" and you just immediately were like, "Yes," it's not that we're dismissing what she's saying.
No,
it's just that like she's not saying anything. She just I don't like what I'm seeing, so I'm just gonna make some shit up.
Well, exactly.
You know, like what the fuck?
It's not because this is the thing. But when it comes between men, like if I tell Wesley like you're being mean, I have more descriptions of what mean is.
Well, then I would also ask you. What
right.
do you
that's
mean?
what I'm about to say. You won't let me just get away with saying, "Oh, you're being mean." You're gonna be like, "Well, what the fuck does that mean?"
How am I being mean?
Right. You're not gonna just let me come across with just that. You're not gonna let me be on some emotional shit. You're gonna be like, "Well, explain to me."
On this
what
show,
mean
we
is.
do specifics.
Okay.
We had something happen in a social media group today.
No. We're not
with Kenny.
No, we're not gonna talk about
and
this.
we're not going to talk about it. But I would like to publicly apologize to Kenny because you made me understand. You were like, it was like, hey, Wesley, you were wrong for that. But you came at me and were like, this is why. And then there was this and there was this. And there's this cultural difference here. And you didn't understand this. And I had to sit there and be like, well, shit, I didn't know that. But it was just the description that you gave me. And again, this show... this is me, Wesley. I apologize to Kenny. I love you, bud. But it was just one of those things where, like, you described to me what was really going on, and it was like, oh, okay. And you couldn't just be like, no, you mean, Wes. That's fucked up. Well, why was I mean? Because you mean. Well, I mean, what happened? I mean, how did I offend Kenny? Because you suck. You mean.
Yeah.
Like, you and I had a conversation about it. I was like, man, Anthony, you're right. That was me in the wrong. I didn't realize I was wrong. I had to learn more, right?
Yeah.
But it was just one of those things where, like, you described it to me, but we don't see a lot of that from women. We just see them, nah, you're mean. You're mean.
Well, they have been accustomed
to not having to explain.
To not having to do anything else but just accuse and abuse and then go fall away into the sunset, and now you got to deal with the shit.
Yeah,
and it's like wait,
because they're going to
wait.
twist the knife and make you suffer emotionally. That's what women know about us. They know that when they do this shit to us,
we actually
actually hurt over this shit. The way that women act, how they hurt about shit, men actually do hurt.
Exactly. I feel that so much
with that shit
because we've talked about since previous shows where you was asking me, you was like, well, do you think she actually thought about that as much as you thought about it? And I was like, hell no. I
don't think so.
And you was like, I know she didn't. I wasn't asking you as a real question. I knew she did. And I was like, but that's the difference, man. Like, even though as men, right, we're bigger, massively as far as like
bigger, faster, stronger.
Right. And dare can I say we can take things on more mentally when it comes in a stressful environment where we have to think on our feet at a quick rate and respond, and then have to react, and then make sure that our plan B is in place because just in case plan A doesn't work out. Like, there's a lot fucking going on mentally that we have to take on. But if we were to have to equally push that on a woman,
they wouldn't be able to handle it. The level of pain we feel, I truly believe the level of internal emotional pain that men feel, if women knew that's what we felt
they wouldn't put us through the shit.
They wouldn't do it. Yeah. Because women would not throw baby puppies in a wood chipper,
right,
and watch blood come out the other side.
No.
Women are not fucking animals. You know what I mean? Women do have feelings. Women wouldn't just take like a baby puppy's head and put it in a nutcracker and just crack it in half.
Animals have feelings. When you talk about dogs and elephants, and
yeah.
Like,
men have feelings too, bitches. Jesus Christ. If they knew how much they hurt us, I'm going to be a positive person and believe if they knew the knots that they put us in, they wouldn't do it. Because it is just this terrible, terrible, terrible pain.
I'll say sometimes women do know, especially if they know.
There are some evil bitches out there, for sure.
And they be like, I know how this will affect him, so I
know how this will affect him if I didn't get him anything for Valentine's Day the last 2 years, and then this year I get him the brand new iPhone, and then he only got me flowers. Yeah, there's bitches out there because I was married to one of them.
Yeah. So
I wanted to go back for our next segment, Anthony. We could talk about don't fucking give these hoes fucking
validation
all day long. And by the way, that's kind of like vetting women.
Always going to be a topic.
It's always going to be a topic. You have to stop validating women, guys. The topic we're really passionate about tonight, which we're going to finish our last segment with, guys, and it's going to be a good one because I haven't been this passionate about a topic in a long time. And this topic is about slumming. Okay, guys, we know what slumming is. You are used to...
Do we know?
Well, they're used to dating a girl at this level. And guys, you don't have to be watching this on video to know what I'm talking about. Just in your mind, imagine where my hand is. You're used to dating a girl at this level. But lately you've been dating a girl at this level, down here. I wrote some notes to myself because I wanted to go back to Anthony's Valentine Day story.
Okay.
Where you made this amazing, amazing meal. Okay. Anthony, have you ever seen the show The Office?
Yes, I love that show.
It's a great show. It's a wonderful, wonderful show. Steve Carell on that show is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, the last season, they actually do this reconciliation of people got to view the reality show because, you know, it was a reality show within a reality show.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why they're doing confessionals. And Jim, by the way, guys, spoiler alert if you haven't watched The Office. I mean, it's been out a long time. But spoiler alert, skip forward if you haven't seen The Office. But Jim sacrifices, which on this show we teach you never to sacrifice for women ever. But he sacrifices this great career opportunity because Pam doesn't want to move. Okay? And Pam doesn't want to move, so he sacrifices this and he stays at the office. You know, Dwight becomes the branch manager and he's the co-branch manager, so he kind of just slinks into this career purgatory where he doesn't get to achieve his greatness. And what's great about the show is, this is what I love, they finally do like this live event where people watched the reality show in this fiction of The Office, right?
Okay. And
these women get up there who clearly really, really crush on Jim. And they're like, oh my, they're like the cat ladies. And they're watching this reality show. And it's clear in just 2 seconds, they only watch for Jim because Jim's their dream guy. And they get up there and they look at Pam and they go, so, you know, dream guy here, he sacrificed his career for you. What did you sacrifice for him? And you just see in that fucking moment, Pam's like, oh shit. You know, and it's just these people got to watch Pam and Jim and they just think Jim is dreamy as fuck. Pam's like, this motherfucker's been my husband for like 5 years. This is old shit. She doesn't appreciate fucking shit anymore. I bring up your Valentine's Day, Anthony, because if you were on a reality show and you had made this dinner and other people had seen it, there would be bitches watching this going, oh my God, if I don't care what mistakes Anthony would have made, I can't believe he put that much effort. There's bitches at home sitting there petting their cats, and that's the only people they know, right? And they're like, Jesus Christ, Anthony is my dream husband because he made this. But the chick you're with, she gives zero motherfucking fucks, doesn't she? Let's go right into our next segment, fellas. This is what slummin is. All right, fellas. You're having a couple of the bitches you've been dating in your rotation. They haven't been calling back. They're hanging out with Big Dick Rodney on the weekends. Big Dick Rodney's been playing with them a little bit more frequently. You feel like you got to start slumming. What Anthony and I want to point out are the dangers of slumming. Because, fellas, we have talked about this on the program time and time again. The reason you have rules is not so you can become the Mac Daddy of pimp daddies of all time. Men get attached to women quickly, especially women that are giving them steady fucking vagina. So you have to have rules. And one of those rules, fellas, as I sit here and pound on this paper on the desk, one of those rules is you can't slum for very long. Because what's going to happen, and I'm not going to call anybody out, but we've been dealing with some guys recently that are very heartbroken over some women. Mm-hmm. And we're not going to call anybody out specifically. But as you and I investigated these relationships that they have asked us advice on, we investigated the specifics of these women. These are not women that these guys should fucking be worried about. And by the way, guys, you ain't getting no fucking points because you know her better than anybody else and she's special and you know her specialness and shit. Look, goddammit, if she's got 3 kids by 3 different baby daddies and she's 50 fucking pounds overweight and you're a handsome, young, attractive dude, this is what slumming is. And you took slumming to the ultimate level. You got close to a bitch that you were slumming with. And guys, this is why you can't do this. Once you get feelings for someone, again, this is why men make great soldiers. Because men are very loyal to their cause. They're very loyal to people. Women are not, guys. Let me tell you what's going to happen on this slumming shit. I'm going to fast forward to the end of this movie for everybody. You're going to fucking think you're dating down and that you're going to get credit for it, right? Because, I mean, she should be grateful that you dated down for her. And then she's going to get fucking arrogant as fuck because she's with you. And then she's going to dump you. And you're going to be heartbroken. And then next thing you know, you're going to be reaching out to me asking why you should get this fucking subpar level bitch back. Wesley, oh my God, how do I get her back? You should never been with her in the first fucking place. You certainly shouldn't be with her now after she dumped you.
But
Anthony, please take over here. This slumming thing. Yeah, he loves her. Yeah,
that's what happens.
That's what happens when you're slumming. You fall in love with these dumb bitches.
You
man.
don't realize the point of when, because there's no like separation line where what they call the line of demarcation when you go into the sea.
Yeah,
there's no line of demarcation.
Is that a naval term?
It's a naval term.
Yeah, the line of demarcation.
When you go out and you're like, damn it, I've actually hit in deep waters, and there's no coming back from it because now you're in too deep. You know, you went undercover.
You've invested so much.
Well, you put too much into it because you thought that you was going to be in and out, right?
You also thought you were going to get credit for dating down.
Well,
you're like, I'm going to sacrifice my standards. And guys, I need you to understand in Western culture, and I need you to not fight me on this, okay? Listen to me when I tell you this. Don't fight me on this. In Western culture, the reason that we sacrifice and go through all this trial and tribulation is because in Western culture, there's some weird thing in our culture that teaches you if you go through all this trial and tribulation and all this mire, there's a reward for you down the road. And let me tell you guys, it doesn't make any fucking sense coming out of my mouth now, and it's not going to make any sense coming out of your ideas later. You don't get a surprise prize for going through a bunch of fucking bullshit with an overweight chick that has 3 kids by 3 different baby daddies because you love her and you found some special thing in her. This is going to be one of those things, guys, where if, 5 years later, I'm going to come back at you and be like, Ted, let's just say Ted. So, she was an overweight gal that had 3 kids by 3 different baby daddies, and she wasn't ever really in a long-term relationship. So you expected it to be different with you. Do you see how silly that sounds, bud? But this is what slumming does. This is the dangers of slumming that nobody's going to tell you about.
Well, what if you say that, hey, I'm only in it for the sex, and next thing you know, now
Whoa. Hold on. You just made, Anthony, I love that you said that because that's how these guys talk. Next thing you know, no.
Yeah.
Don't give me that verbiage. What is next thing you know? If you don't want to get attached to a woman, you only see her how many times a week, Anthony?
Once.
One time. But she's bringing that sex around, though. And it's free sex. And I was sitting home on a Wednesday. And she comes. No, guys.
Once.
You have to be aware of your own feelings. You have to be aware. You're a man. Men are loyal. Men are very, very loyal.
Well, they're not offering it on accident. You know what I mean? This is not
Go into this, Anthony, because this is what they need to hear. We talked about this week.
This is not.
They have a different skill set because they are not as pretty.
Right.
Right. Tell them about this, please.
You have to have, and this is the thing about women who know that they're on another level, or they know that they under a certain level. So they have to bring more to the table. If they bring more to the table, then you're more likely to stick around longer, right? So,
what are some of those traits? Help the fellas out.
Oh.
What are some of those traits that the women do? One of them, I know you're gonna say, "Boy, that sex comes easy." Sex is way easier with these types of girls.
Well, not only that, it is more frequent.
Yes,
and they'll tend to give you head
more specific. Okay,
at a higher level than you're used to, right? So, but these are the same women who will take it away. That once you finally say, you know what, fuck it, I'll commit, then it gets taken away from you.
Anthony, can you pause for a second?
Sure.
Gentlemen, are you listening right now? This is very important what Anthony is saying. I need you to dial your ears in, Anthony. I'm sorry, Anthony. Continue with what you're saying because this is really important for them to hear.
Yeah. They'll be able to take it away from you as soon as you say, okay, I'll commit to you. Because the thing is, once they feel like they don't have to work for your attention, they don't have to work for your presence anymore, then the things that they were given to you to keep you there will start being slowly taken away from you.
Guys, listen to Anthony. So now you're back to like dealing with dimes who don't want to fuck you. Do you understand what Anthony's saying? The frequency comes in a lot at first, but then they start tapering that shit off. So now you're like, whoa, what's going on? I was dating down.
Right.
For this frequency.
Right.
Now I've got feelings in the game, and now they're like, well, not so fast, partner.
Yeah.
No more head for you for a while. My daughter got mad at you last time you came over because you didn't make her any Cheerios. What's your fucking deal? You don't know how to make Cheerios? What the fuck? You can't pour some cereal for my daughter? You know I got 3 kids. Yeah, dude, this is what slumming is. These bitches are smart, fellas.
Well, and think about this though. Like for me, I'm big on developing chemistry and friendship with women that I hold to a certain level. And I won't just say that because I can develop a friendship with you, that's enough. Like that's not the only thing I need from you. That's part of it.
But that's big.
But that's part of it though. Like I need more than that, but that's something that I need you to be able to develop as we grow more rapport, right? So if I meet you and you meet the physical aspect as far as what I want in a woman. Then you meet the chemistry as far as like we get along in a conversation, and we can talk about things on multiple levels, right? We can discuss our goals, our future goals, and things like that. It's like there's so much more that can be talked about as far as who we are as individuals and who we can be together.
Anthony, I stopped listening to you because she was like sucking my dick 20 minutes ago. So
wait, who was sucking your dick?
This girl.
She's
not very pretty, but
she sucked dick.
She's sucking my dick.
She sucked dick in the car.
Yeah,
she sucked dick. She sucked dick
Anthony,
in the club.
I don't
in the
think
bathroom.
you know. See, Anthony, listen, she's not a looker at all, but you don't understand. Like she's Wiccan, and she's really deep into the crafts and nature and shit. And I'm getting my dick sucked a lot, so I kind of lost track of what
dick suck. That's all I hear. This is the thing though too, right? If you let a chick in to the point where she knows your weaknesses, she knows what buttons to push for you specifically, That's what she'll play to. She'll play to play to your weaknesses or the things that you desire the most. And then when she gets your commitment, she knows it's too late once you get in. When the kid is like asking you for you by name and calling you daddy and all that shit. Like she's not stupid when it comes to this shit, right?
Well,
so
guess what? I won't mention this person's name, but I had a call today. I had some advice being asked from me, and this is one of the pitfalls you can fall into. Sex is one of them. Mm-hmm. Oral sex. I'm going to put sex and oral sex
totally
in
different
categories.
Totally different.
Because when a woman is giving you oral sex, they are really, really submitting to you. As a man, it makes you feel great. It makes you feel like a man. So sex, oral sex. But let me tell you a third category, and this is a category that men like to indulge in. And guys, this is another public service announcement. This is something that you cannot do with women, okay? You cannot indulge into telling women your fears, your desires, your sorrows. You cannot turn a woman into your mother. But some of these girls that you slum with, they'll indulge you. They'll listen to all your weaknesses. They'll listen to... I'll use myself as an example. My biological mother, Anthony, did the old, said she was going out for cigarettes and just never came back. That was something that happened back in the 70s or early 80s. I'll use myself as an example. That's something that hurts people. You know, you have something that hurts you when you're really, really young, right? I'm never going to sit around and just talk to my wife about that shit and just let her become my therapist. I have to be the leader of my family. She has to look at me as a strong masculine male that can lead this family. I start showing those vulnerable sides to my wife.
Boo-hoo on her shoulder?
Boo-hoo on her shoulder. She's never going to truly trust me. It's not because my wife's an asshole, everybody. Don't send me those emails. It's not because my wife's an asshole. It's because my wife is my wife. And if I was going to discuss that with somebody, I would do it with a professional psychiatrist, or I would do it with maybe Anthony over a beer. This is something men can talk about because men understand the obvious masculinity. Women don't understand that. They look at that as like, oh shit, is this guy losing his shit? So besides oral sex and sex, a lot of the things that these women that you're slumming with, they'll allow you to just sit there and they'll become your psychiatrist and they'll become your mommy. Become your mommy. Like in my case where I literally didn't have a mother. These slumming bitches, they'll become your mother if you need one.
But the bad part though is that when you expose yourself to that or to them, they use that shit against you.
That's what I was telling the gentleman I was talking to today. It's like they're never going to see you as a strong person now. Even though they invited you. Even though they invited you to tell you about this. They were doing it because they knew it was a great technique to get you, but now unknown to themselves, they didn't realize this is something that it made you unattractive to them.
And like you said, unbeknownst to them,
they didn't know that. They just thought this is a great way to grab this super attractive, confident guy. And if I want to keep him, I'm going to break him down to his ultimate jelly where he's nothing. But then when women do that, they're like, well, shit, now I'm not attracted to him anymore.
And the thing about slumming, man, let's say we take it to the other side, where you as a guy is not as confident of going after the woman you want because you're not who you need to be with that woman.
Right. So you mentioned this earlier today. This is a really good point that our listeners need to hear.
So you know, if you try to approach the woman that you actually want, she's gonna hold you accountable to who you really want to be, but you're not there yet. So you're gonna say, you know what, I'm not gonna reach for that type of woman yet. I'm gonna reach for someone who's gonna be beneath me, so I can still have that presence of being an alpha male, in a sense where I don't have to be who I want to be yet, but I can just hold her at bay because she's not the woman I want. Exactly.
And here's the thing with that. Anthony's 100% right. But what you got with this slummin bitch, guys, it's got a time limit on it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it's like, so your alpha with this slummin. So let's use the traditional 1 to 10 scale. Even though Anthony and I love the 1 to 30 scale when it comes to, and guys, we're not talking about the whole woman. We're only talking about her looks.
Yeah.
To be clear. And we know a woman that has very, very high looks.
If we talk about, let's explain the 1 to 30 real quick. So
yeah, go ahead, man.
So,
because it's important.
So when we talk 1 to 10, it's kind of hard to really just focus on that because a 7 to me or a 7 to you could be totally different.
Yeah.
Right. So we're talking about like if you are a above average chick. So on the scale of 1 to 10, above average, 5 being average, you can be 6, 7, 8. But if we talk about 1 to 30, now you're talking about, okay. Now, we could just put 20 and above movie stars. Yes, like 20 and above is like the best of the best looking chicks ever.
How the fuck is Halle Berry a 9 on the 1 to 10 scale?
Exactly.
But then you saw a 9 at the fucking 7-Eleven when you went up there to
It's
get
not
gas.
The same.
It's not the same thing. So let's just keep it real. Let's use the 1 to 30 scale, right? So we would say, to give you guys an idea, 1 to 30. Who would qualify as a 30? Kate Upton, to me, would qualify as a 30. Like, she's a 3-0 to me. Because that's a model with a beautiful face, but she has lots and lots of curves.
I like bigger asses, so like.
Okay, we'll go on. Who's a 30 for you?
She's in the top range of a 20.
Would you say 25 and above?
20. She's definitely in the 20 to 25. Yes. If she was going to go above,
you're not going to say 25 to 30.
I gave her 25. What the fuck do you want from me, Wesley?
Yeah, your opinion's your opinion. But who would you put as 30? Who is your 30? Kate Upton is my 30.
Yeah.
I have two other 30s. I have there's a porn star named Sharon Lee.
I was gonna go porn star.
Well, I mean, Jesus, there's beautiful porn stars.
Serena Ali is a 30 for me.
So for you guys looking for new porn stars, Sharon Lee, and everyone on this program knows my wife is Asian. I have a wonderful fetish for beautiful Asian women. Sharon Lee.
How you spell that?
Sharon Lee is an Asian porn star who is from France. So she speaks French fluently and talks in a French accent. And then the other person, Kate Upton, Sharon Lee.
Serena Ali,
okay. And I would also put Anissa Kate is also another French porn star. Now, what I would like to point out about Sharon Lee and Anissa Kate, they are very curvy, and they are all natural, and they're French. These, and by the way, fellas, if you didn't know about these two porn stars, you are fucking welcome. They are gorgeous. Goddamn, they're gorgeous.
Is that L-I or L-E-E?
L-E-E, Sharon Lee. It's very
S-H-A-R-O-N?
Yeah, Sharon Lee.
Wow.
Sharon, and she in her French accent, Sharon Lee. Sharon Lee.
What's wrong with my
Sharon Lee and Anissa Kate. That would put them at 30. Now, who would I put at number 1? Fucking my 3rd grade teacher, Miss Edwards. Big old 300-pound woman.
I can't find her, man. I'm
Give me your phone. Shadon Lee. Yeah, you spelled it right. But to the point, to Anthony's point though, on a scale of 1 to 30. Jesus Christ! Oh, there she is. On a scale of 1 to 30, slumming, Anthony, is what?
Oh, definitely.
It's 7 and below, right?
Five.
I would say 7 and below.
Like, yeah. I mean, like, on 1 to 30, I'll say 9 and below. Like, you're talking about average
Guys,
is 15.
Stop talking yourself.
Average is
into-
15 in 1 to 30, right? Average is 15. So definitely below 15. But below 10. So 10 and below is what I'll say is slumming.
10 and below. I don't know. Yeah, 10 and below is slumming. 10 and below is slumming for sure, right?
Yeah.
And guys, be honest with yourself. The only reason you think that you should slum is because you think you're going to get some kind of fucking reward for it somewhere down the road, or that it's going to be easier. Or that it's going to be easier. It's like, here's the problem, guys, that you're not thinking of. Whenever you start slumming, it's like you're going to have the same stress that you would have with any other woman. However, what's going to happen instead is you're now going to not even be with a hot chick. Do you understand what I'm saying, guys?
That sucks.
So, and again, we're not going to mention anybody by name, but I've got a gentleman who is reaching out to me, and he's a very, very good guy and a very valuable guy. And he's lost, Anthony. He's lost because he is just in love. And now it's too late. Now there's no turning back. He's already in love, right?
Yeah.
And I'm obviously looking. This chick is not good enough for him, man. But this is what happens when you go slumming, man. It's just like you get lost in this. You get lost in this place where like bitches below you are now ruling your fucking world. And if you win the game, what do you win? Some fucking ugly hoe? I know that sounds crass. And I'm really not trying to sound crass. But guys, I'm observing a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys are give you an example, Anthony. So I go to the gym. You and I both know. I go to the gym. Me and my wife, it's our bonding thing. We go to the gym and we lift weights. I will see dudes. And to give you guys an idea, I'm not a fucking crazy bodybuilder. But yesterday, I texted out to the group. Just put up on the bench press 260 pounds for the first time. Guys, I'm not like some kind of dude that's just out there throwing up 5-pound dumbbells, right? But being a guy that bench presses 260 pounds, I can respect. I have enough time in weightlifting. I can respect a motherfucker that walks in that looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, that must have taken 15 to 17 years to get his body like that. And I'm telling you guys, this is what I see. And this is why we're talking about slumming today. This motherfucker who is a fucking marvel will walk in with these Porky Pig looking bitches. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I know that bodybuilding is important to you. How the fuck are you walking in with a fat chick? Seriously, bruh? How come you have these high standards for your own body, but you don't have these high standards for someone else. Now, Anthony, I know you have an argument for me on this. You are arguing that you know bodybuilders that, quote unquote, like fat chicks.
Yeah.
Talk me into this, man. I'm listening because I don't believe it.
I'm not trying to talk you into shit. I'm saying that I don't put expectations on somebody else's dick. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not either.
I don't care what you like. What I do agree with you about is that, you know, don't settle for something that you like, that you would feel that I didn't even want to be with you in the first place type shit.
No, Anthony, you don't get it. Like, my workout regimen is my thing. No girl that's really hot would put up with this. Like, I have to be at the gym at like 5 a.m. and then I work out till 7, and then I have to go back at 6 p.m. and I work out till 9. It's a huge thing. Like, this is the only girl that would put up with this because no hot chick would put up with this. Like, you don't get it, man. Like, no, man, I'd have to work on my body so much that this is what must go through their head. Because these motherfuckers should be dating like fucking Charlize Theron and fucking Hollywood bitches. The way that these men look, not these fucking piggly wiggly looking bitches they walk through the gym with, man. It's fucking insane.
So I'm not a physical specimen myself, but I've dated a bodybuilder, right? She was like,
guy or girl?
Oh, fuck you. She was in amazing shape. Amazing shape to the point where I felt like...
Well, hold on, Anthony, because I don't know this story. Would you tell us, like, amazing shape, but, like, does she look really feminine, or did she...
She looks feminine.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, describe her body a little bit for us, because I don't know this either. Would you say...
I'll pull her up.
Well, that's not going to help our audience. I mean, just describe... Yeah. Is she still very petite?
Petite.
So she's not like masculine looking.
When she's competing for competition, yes, she could look
masculine in what areas of her body? Like her shoulders.
Her shoulders.
Yeah. Shoulders is not bad. You can still wear a dress.
Like when she, I was just about to say, when we were at a event and we were dancing, and I mean, she was the eye. Like every guy was looking. You know what I mean? Like. They like,
yeah, because
all eyes on her. You know what I mean?
Okay, so, where would you put her on the 1 to 30 scale?
Ooh, 26.
What?
26.
Like, holy! So her face is pretty too.
Yes.
Whoa,
she's
shit!
A gorgeous woman.
I mean, 26. That is like movie star level.
I
don't doubt what you're saying. I'm just saying that's quite a marvel.
I actually talked to her this week. So, She was very attractive. I didn't know why she was with me, because I'm like, I'm no bodybuilder, you know what I mean? So why are you with me?
Mm-hmm.
I got a good friend that I work with. He told me the same thing.
I am trying to get through this. I feel like you're apologizing for fat chicks right now. I'm gonna keep listening.
I'm not talking about fat chicks. I'm talking about me. Fuck you. I got a bodybuilder friend, and he told me specifically, like, when he go on dates, he would go on dates with women who were not in the physical shape that he was in.
Oh, really?
However, that when he was meeting them, he was actually trying to get to know them, but the whole time he has to fight them from thinking that they gotta be like him because of the shape that he was in.
Really?
So
that makes a lot of sense when someone's in like that goodish. Well, especially men, because men are just a different shape when they're in that.
Right.
I mean, there's no clothes they can put on that hides. I mean, we talk about a bodybuilding girl. She could put on, some clothing that hides her physique a little bit,
right?
But still, she's gorgeous, right?
Yeah. He's. I mean, this guy's. I mean, he does he don't even have to. He hasn't been competing for trophies or anything or money or anything lately, and he's still like, he shows his biceps, and you can see the fucking sculpture.
He's got like water hoses for veins in his
crazy,
arms.
dude. Crazy. And he's all natural. He doesn't use any drugs, anything like that. So,
well, there's no such thing as all natural anymore.
well, for him, this is from what his words tell me, that he doesn't do any drugs at all, and he
So
said,
no protein powders then.
So he's never been in that. No, he uses he uses shakes and shit like that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people don't realize. Yeah. Like, I didn't realize this till recently, so I started really getting serious with a dietitian.
But he was in the prison system, so he didn't have shakes available.
Oh wow, hold on, that's even more impressive. A lot of people don't realize, and I'm not dogging on people, but a lot of people don't realize before protein powders were invented, if you wanted to be a bodybuilder, you had to sit around and eat like fucking 5 whole chickens a day. I was just about to say,
that was his.
That was like, fuck, man. You know, protein powders really changed the whole game. That's why I say nobody's really natural anymore. Because if you can take protein powder, you can just drink 75 grams of protein, which, if anybody knows what 75 grams of protein is, that'd be like eating a chicken and a half. It's fucking insane, guys. Protein powders have like changed the whole game. But we digress. Guys, well, hold on a second, Anthony. Where were you going with, like, were you saying that she was slumming for you? Because it's not the same thing. I mean, women don't care about looks, Anthony. Well, I mean, they do care about being attracted to a guy, but it's not like how men care about looks. I mean, where were you going with that?
I was saying that different strokes for different folks. When someone who is very physically attractive as far as to the eye of other people, they don't always see themselves that way. You know what I mean? So when they're looking for someone, they're not actually looking for someone to mirror who they are physically. They actually just looking for someone they actually like, and it doesn't have nothing to do with their physicality. Does physicality and looks play a part? Of course it does, right? So you got to be somewhat attractive in their eyes. So what I'm saying is that just because you have if you're considered a specimen as far as your gender, you don't have to find someone equal to who you are physically.
For sure. But let me tell you, and here's where I don't have a lot of a sensitivity. For everybody listening to this podcast, I have really, really bad genetics. And if you don't believe me, go look at my family that lives north of here. And you will see that anybody in my family that eats a normal fucking diet, and I'm talking about the males, I'm not talking about the females, but I'm talking about the males. A normal diet with my genetics means you're a fat motherfucker. Okay? So from the day that I was born, I've been fighting terrible motherfucking genetics. Look, I like working out because I like getting stronger. But I also kind of hate working out. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm 42 years old, and I'm like, to stay relevant to my wife and still have her attracted to me, I have to go work out. What I'm trying to say is, you motherfuckers that aren't working out, I don't have a lot of sensitivity towards you because my genetics are so fucking bad that I can't just hang out and be skinny. You know what I mean? I have to like go, and to the point where I like, because I know I have to work out, I've made working out pleasurable for me. So like I get stronger. That's the thing I enjoy. I enjoy getting stronger because I know I got to work out. So I got to fucking make it cool for myself. I tried marathon running. And by the way, for our marathon runners out there, props to you. I mean, I still have the confidence that I could go run a half marathon right now if my daughter's life depended on it. You know what I'm saying? I've gone down that road, but I know that the thing that motivates me about working out is getting stronger. Okay? So for all you fucking women out there that don't work out and because you had a kid and you got pregnant, Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't know how many people on this program follow my Instagram, but I was very proud about putting up 260 pounds on the bench press. It's my personal best, Anthony. And hey, guys, for a lot of you out there, I have friends that put up like 315, or there's people that put up 500 pounds. By the way, badass motherfucker, good on you. You know, I'm talking about my personal best. And by the way, give me some credit. I'm an old man. I'm 42. Jesus Christ. But you know what my favorite part of that video was, Anthony? Jesus Christ, she is a specimen. Anthony just brought up a picture of this girl. You're right, man. Jesus, you know what's really attractive about her? Her hamstrings. Mm-hmm. Hamstrings is the new hot, isn't it, for women?
I'm attracted to a lot of things other than a hamstring, but yeah.
But legs are a new kind of hot. We'll get into that. But you know what my favorite part of the video was, Anthony, putting up that 260? I was walking over, and for some weird reason, I don't know why. I don't know if my wife was like clowning because I was like taping this shit or whatever, because we never tape shit in the gym. But my favorite part of the video is my wife smiles. She's the one spotting me on that 260 bench press.
Yeah.
And I see her silhouette is beautiful. You know what I mean? And our kid is 5 months old. 5 months old. So all you fucking dumb hoes, all you hoes down here in the slums.
Oh, talking about baby fat.
Talking about, well, I had a kid and shit like that.
Yeah.
Look, my wife has had, well, let me share some life hacks with you ladies if you're listening. I don't think there's a lot of ladies listening. You need to breastfeed. That helps you take off a lot of the weight. Yeah. But you know what? Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I hate to interrupt the program. Anthony's showing us some photos of the woman he dated. Yeah, she's muscular, but still very feminine.
Right.
I think for our listeners, I'm just trying to communicate that. But I would tell you, you don't get, going back to what we're saying, you don't get off for like, I had some kids, and now I just fucking let myself go because we had kids, because now we're stuck. Because that's how men fucking cheat on you. Like I said, man, here I am for the first time in my life putting up 260. And my favorite part of the video is my wife's there spotting me, and she has like this weird smile on her face. And I'm like, oh, that's my fucking pretty wife. And you can see her silhouette up there. You know, it's like, yeah, I bench press 260, but I'm also, and I'm not the most attractive guy in the gym. Listen to me right now, listeners. I'm not the most attractive guy in the gym, for fucking sure. I saw all the flaws in my body in this video. But when I look up, I'm like, I'm bench pressing 260, but I'm also not with a bitch spotting me that's been hit by the ugly tree 55 times in the face. Like I put up 260, but also my wife's hot too.
Well, what about the guys that think that they're beautiful because of their personality and not because of their looks alone?
That's a cool story, bro. I'm telling you.
You think
that's a cool story,
you think
bro.
that shit don't exist, man? How many
Here's
times...
the truth serum. You and I always talk about the truth serum, okay? When you have a beautiful daughter, aren't you really proud?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're really proud. Do you get a proud feeling about your daughter being beautiful if she's not? No, but you focus on she's really good at the clarinet, right? Yeah. No, bro. Beauty is a real fucking thing. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Hey,
motherfucker.
You know, I'll be like, hey, man, why you dating her? Oh, man, she gives the best head.
Now, hold on. There are outliers. There are outliers. Now, and this is not a good example because this gal is pretty attractive. But I have a friend that lives close by here.
Okay.
And I think we've talked about her on the program before. She went to Cal Berkeley, and she's a teacher, and she teaches inner city school kids. So to get them more involved in school, she got this book that had like curse words in it and shit like that because she thought it would relate to them more. By the way, the kids' grades went up, because of this. But there was some asshole parent that fucking called her out, almost got her fired and shit.
Damn.
Yeah, but when we were talking to her, my wife and I were visiting over there. We were talking to her, and she was just like really passionate about like, yeah, man, but I felt like this fucking story got these kids kind of engaged because they were more from an inner city dialogue and shit. And it was then that I remembered she had told us in the past she went to Cal Berkeley, and Cal Berkeley was my dream law school when I was looking at law schools. Cal Berkeley is one of the best colleges in the whole continent here, U.S., Canada, Mexico, everybody combined, right? But I was like, oh shit, I can tell this person's really educated. You know what I mean? There was a genuine Anthony, not like, oh my God, this is smart for a chick.
Yeah.
Like you felt like, oh my God, this is a smart person. And also they were really passionate about really trying to help the kids. They weren't just trying to say some shit that bitches say on social media to get likes. You know what I mean? So you were like, wow, what an impressive human being. So even though I don't find her, I hope they don't listen to this, but even though I don't find her incredibly attractive, I could see how my buddy who's married to her, like, wow, she's pretty smart gal, There's more behind there. But guys, let's be honest. When you're slumming and you say things like that, you're just fucking making excuses because you settled. Why don't you just fucking, motherfucker?
How do they
when you're slumming, you're not fucking dating teachers from fucking Cal Berkeley.
No.
Fucking be honest with yourself, motherfucker.
How do they stop from slumming, Wesley?
Well, okay, that's a good question. So, when you find yourself slumming, because that's going to happen from time to time, and guys, don't beat yourself up for slumming. Don't do it. We're not here to beat you up. That's not what this show is about. We're not beating you up. But when you feel like you're dating a woman that's below your standard of, and by the way, guys, let me be very clear, physical looks. Because physical looks is you could have a kid with this person, okay? So if she lacks in physical looks, she's got to either go to Cal Berkeley, and most of these bitches are not. Most of these bitches are thoughts with 3 fucking kids by 3 different baby daddies, and you're just becoming more and more emotionally attached because you're what? Seeing them more than once a week. Anthony, should they see them less than once a week?
Yes.
Okay. What is your rule? Again, guys, we're not talking about rules to manipulate people. We're talking about rules so that you don't get attached to the wrong woman. Once a week was, to me, at a minimum, but Anthony thinks that's too much if you're slumming.
If you're slumming, yeah,
once every 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good rule. That's a really, really good rule. I mean, we've sit here and harped and sang about why you should not slum, but you're right, Anthony. We need to give them solutions. You cannot be seeing these bitches 2 and 3 times a week because it's easy sex. Anthony already told you it's easy sex now, but they're going to pull it away from you.
Yep.
Guys, these bitches are going to be so grateful that you showed up at first, and then they're going to become Kate Upton on you later on. The next thing you know, they're breaking up with you like you ain't good enough to be around them. Like, what the fucking fuck? Jesus, dude. You're like, hold on a second. A bitch that's below me broke my heart. What the fuck, man? And by the way, Anthony, you can't talk these guys out of it.
Nope.
I had a discussion with a guy today who is clearly going through this. Oh, my goodness. We have got to put this to next week. We are running out of time. Thank you, Anthony. Where can they reach us, Anthony?
Man, we just opened up Facebook, so we on Facebook, and we gonna be probably doing some Facebook Live. We on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio.
By the way, whenever we don't finish an episode, it only means we have more for next week. Thank you for joining us, episode 15 at
The Red Pill
Phone Tap.